Man, I got a really nice setup over there.
And we have enough.
Right, Scotty? It's gonna be okay, Scotty. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
it was all fine before, and then all of a sudden it just decided
Yeah.
to collapse too.
I wonder if it got too hot. It was really hot when I came up here.
Yeah, probably.
Because it was super hot when we got here and we turned on the air conditioning. We were testing.
We're on.
All right. Okay. Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another edition of Things Just Fell Apart and We Came Right Back. So we're going to do it a little differently. We have a lot of guests slated. Our guests are still here. So we're going to pull up two of our guests right now. We're going to talk to them. And we are going to get back into the conversation we were having about RICO. We're going to talk a little about why. And these are all questions that our audience absolutely, these are all questions that our audience absolutely wanted us to ask. And so people want to know why prenups are prenups worth it, and people want to know what the hell is with all these RICOs. So we're going to get right into it, and we have two of the very best in the space with us today. Two of the very best in the space with us.
Okay.
Right? We have the wonderful, lovely AV to the seventh power.
Hi, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on,
And
polite
we have
savages?
our main man, 50 grand, the lead attorney. And we're going to bring him up, and we're going to just talk to these folks. These two people are very pivotal to the success of this channel. They're very important to us, and I am just so thrilled to have them. So are we up?
Yep. So bring
Bring them both up.
Hello, AB.
AV,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm good. We are back up and running.
Yes, amazing. It's good to see AV. And
Good to
we're
see
going to
you.
bring the lead up too. Is the lead back there?
I don't see the lead.
So I guess we lost the lead. He'll chime back in. Since I said the lead attorney area. But AV, we were talking about RICOs.
We were.
And we were talking about the white Johnny Cochran, Brian Steele. I literally see comments that people say, we don't know why you did not get Brian Steele, knowing you're going to get life.
Yes.
So is it just that he has so much experience in these type of cases?
Hold on.
Are we not live?
No.
Yeah, it says live back here, but I do have y'all's channel up on this side, and I don't see it.
All right, I'm going to go public.
All right, we're going public now. Okie dokie.
Oh, we got the testing now.
All right. So it says we're unlisted. There we go. Public.
It's public, right?
All right, so are we live?
All right.
All right. Okay, so are we in here?
Yep. See if they can hear us.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. So how is our sound? How's our sound, everybody? Can you put a 1 in the chat, the folks who are there, if our sound is good? If you can hear us, can we get a 1 in the chat? All right, lead. All right. Okie dokie. So we are going to get right back into it. We have some guests slated.
Yep.
So let's go.
Bringing up AV.
All right.
Hi, everybody. We're back.
Hey,
we got to
we're
figure it
back
out.
again. Okay,
we
let's
got to
see.
figure it out.
Yeah, let's see. Man, thank you for your patience so much. I'm just going to kick back because we're just going to get into it. So AV,
Yes.
we've been talking about RICOs, and Lee, whenever you want to pop in, come on up. You know what? It is what it is. We got 100,000 subs. We crossed 100,000 subs a little while ago, but I want to get down to this RICO business because we've been trying to talk about RICO for a damn hour. So, so RICO charge, racketeering. I know it's for the mob. We went through that almost seems like a lifetime ago. But
Yeah.
is there an uptick of RICO charges recently, or are we just now seeing them?
No, we are. We are. And just as a reset, congratulations to you guys, because people might be popping in right now. I'm AV. I have a legal YouTube channel.
Yes.
Have known the TIP Network for a little while now. So I'm really proud of you guys and all the progress that you've made. And yeah, we're going to talk some law a little bit. So coming back to RICO, right? We've seen an uptick in Georgia in particular. On my channel, we had the opportunity to talk to a lot of lawyers about this. After the YSL case last year, we bought on almost all of the YSL lawyers, and we had, almost all of them. And here's a funny thing too. And, you know, as we're talking, we're probably going to dive into Brian Steele for a second. He's the only one that I was able to not get on, but he did agree to come on this summer.
Hold on. Are we breaking news here?
We're breaking some news here. And the reason why he didn't come on is because he had a summer case. And I was like, oh, what case are you working on? And right around April comes out that he's helping Puffy. I was like, wow, look at that. You know, so it's one of those things where it's such a small world where Brian had a successful RICO case last year. I mean, even though Young Thug pled out, you know, some of the fellows actually beat that case. But he is one of the premier attorneys when it comes to defense attorneys knowing about RICO and knowing what they're talking about RICO, but also having their clients come out in a successful manner, right? Georgia in particular is interesting because you have the YSL case, you had the Trump interference case. I think Cash Out just got convicted last week on RICO as well. But I did bring on Ashley Merchant on my channel, and it's pinned to the top of my channel. And her and I had a fascinating discussion on why you see an uptick in RICO in Georgia in particular versus RICO federally, which is that's what's different about you know, the state RICO charges versus federal RICO charges. It's the prosecution's office that's charging people, right? So Fonnie Willis she loves using RICO. I think I just saw another clip of her last week talking about how effective it is in the state of Georgia and why she enjoys using it to convict people. Because here's the thing, with certain crimes, they have to be bundled together, right? And you have to show that there is an enterprise. Let's use Young Thug as an example. Was he the leader of this gang of 20 to 28 people that got indicted with him? Was he the center of this organized crime, you know, gang activity, that sort of thing?
Right.
I know I went off on a little bit of a tangent,
No,
but it's such a fascinating topic.
Listen, it's affecting every bit, especially like when you see like Puffy, like when we were talking earlier, and I was like, I thought RICO was for the mob. I didn't think RICO was because you like weird stuff on your nipples, or you like cuck action and all of these words that we're not supposed to say on YouTube, but this stream is blown to hell anyway, so we gonna get down. So I just did not think that RICO was going to be used for as a tool of it seems like to me it's not used as a tool of eliminating organized crime. It seems to me that it's a tool of retribution for things that maybe you've done in the past and you've got away with.
Yeah.
Because we all know I don't think Puffy's a good guy, right? Nobody like I think he's an abuser. I think he's probably has some control issue, whatever. We know for a fact that he screwed over a lot of people in the music business. If you come from music like I did, I played music for years. We know for a fact that being a bad boy artist was not cool. Being bad boy street team didn't get paid, so like nobody got paid, right? Which is funny because Suge would pay you. He would just punk you a little, but you know. We contracted to Suge a couple of times, but Suge paid us. He paid us. You know, now you ain't getting no back end. Suge gonna keep all that publishing. You do something, but at least he pays you up front. You know?
Keefy D's still looking for his money.
Keefy D, come on, bro, love, show me some love.
He's looking for his money.
Show me some love. But hold on a second. This is amazing. The struggle stream is. I gotta give a big shout out to
Mrs.
Crotchety.
No, hold on. That's Mrs. Crotty Shetty, okay?
I mean, in my most humble and southern voice, I'm going to ask you to please forgive me for mispronouncing your name. I do demand that I put respect on your name.
That's right.
Thank you so much for the $50 super chat.
Yeah, thank you for salvaging, helping our egos.
The support, it blows my mind. I just want to say that it's humbling for somebody who, like I said offline, that I almost quit. I don't think Scott knew this, but I almost quit to be here, 100,000 subs, to have a network with AV, to have a network with the lead attorney, to have a network with Medium Man, to have a network with our guy El Guapo, who actually saved my butt before. I'm just humble. But what's most humbling is all the polite savages and the lady polite savages who support us, who watch every show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Seriously.
We truly appreciate your support. Helps us during these times. Helps us feel a little bit good about ourselves.
Yeah. So AV, where were you at?
Yeah, no, we were just talking about RICO and the differences in Georgia and the differences that we see federally. Because here's the thing, when you see it on a federal level, it's under federal law. There's only specific crimes that you can attach. When you see it in a state, it's a broader range. You can include state level crimes, right? So it opens things up. Now with Diddy, you're looking at, trafficking humans, bringing people across state lines, drugs across state lines, prostitution, that sort of thing. Baby oil, lots of baby oil, the Astroglide.
And sex toys.
I know. It's just like, what, celebrities, though, they're freaky people. They are freaky people, and I think a lot of people were really worried about the tapes. And if there were tapes, who was on the tapes? Who was involved? More people were like curious about that.
You know, it's so funny. Like, you hear celebrities are freaky people, but honestly, because I had some security jobs before when I was, so I played music when I was a kid for 10 years. Like I toured Africa. I toured, my first big trip was 18 years old. I played the whole summer in Japan. We toured Africa, a lot in Europe, some in Central South America. But I mean, celebrities are freaky, but I mean, I worked at places with regular freaky people. I was doing security at swing clubs, and that's real freaky. None of the stuff that I seen there it didn't surprise me. I was expecting to see some ground shaking stuff, and I didn't hear it. Maybe we didn't get all the details, but the things that everyone thought that Puff was doing, everyone thought it was underage. Everyone thought it was kids. Everyone thought it was like, none of that was true. Listen, I will never forgive him for slanging and beating that woman up. I don't think that's right. Everybody who knows me know that I don't believe that you should be putting hands on people. Now, if a woman's hitting and beating me, she gonna get smacked because, stop hitting me so I can leave. But don't get it twisted. You just ain't gonna beat me up. But like as far as like abusive nature of his relationships, I don't believe in that. But man, they was acting like this dude was a monster, and then they couldn't show it, and then and then he gets off. So I just feel like it was a giant waste of resources. And I look at the Young Thug trial, and obviously I watched you cover the trial with the lead,
Right,
and on your own.
yeah.
And that was absolutely not that was also, it looks like a big waste of taxpayers' money to me.
Yes, and that's why a lot of people are not happy with Fonnie Willis. Like I was a Georgia resident and likely going back, but like I voted and I did not vote for this woman. I didn't because it's like, why are the taxpayer dollars going here? Because here's the other thing. You have the YSL trial. Half of these guys have been in jail for 4 or 5 years. They're all pleading out, you know? And then if you think about the Trump interference case, she went through all of that, only to get embarrassed with the whole Nathan Wade thing. And then at the end of the day, Trump is still in the White House. He's in the White House right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, with his own issues.
Exactly.
Well, the other set of tapes have gone missing.
I mean,
the steen of the Eps.
The steen of the
Eps. And by the way, I want to say this about the whole Epstein thing, right? Because everyone's, why don't you talk about Epstein? Where were you in 2020 when we did 3 hours on Epstein?
Did we do 3 hours?
We did 3 hours on Epstein. You know how many people watched it?
It was in 2020. It's like 2018. No, that's it would be before.
Oh no, it's 20. No, it was our first year. It was our first year.
It was first year.
2018. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where were you in 2018 when we said Epstein didn't delete it? Whenever Epstein supposedly deleted himself, we said it didn't happen. And then for those 3 hours, we got 3 views.
Yeah, we were politics at one point.
Yeah, no,
and that politics did not really.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Lead. I want to. Is Lead backstage?
Let's see here.
If
he has a link. I think he's gonna come up when I'm winding down. We're all gonna take turns here. You know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I'm being very respectful of the time. So AV, tell us about your channel. Tell us about what do you do on your channel. Give us a little about your background for the people who weren't here. I know we don't really share an audience. I pop in every now and again, and maybe I super chat, maybe I say hi, what's up, sis? But and I don't think people understand. AV we work together in the background. AV is literally like my little sister. She's literally as close to being a part of the TIP network as you could be. Like when I say TIP network, AV's definitely involved in a lot of stuff we do. We communicate a lot. I get a lot of advice from her from like stuff that I really need to be better at, like merchandise and like building a membership base and stuff like that. And I may or may not help her with VODs and hiring people and stuff like that.
Yes. Yep.
So tell us about your channel. Tell us what you do. Give us the whole skinny on it.
Yeah, no. So I have a legal channel. I've been doing it full time for about almost 2 years now. So really, really taking YouTube seriously. I worked with lead attorney for almost 2.5 years. So that was a lot of fun. Learned everything that I could as far as live streaming. And, we cover cases on my channel. We cover like live trials as well. We just finished the Karen Reed case. That was interesting for me because I grew up in the North and it was in my backyard. It was a murder trial where this woman was on trial for second-degree murder, almost backing her car into a Boston cop. And that Boston cop died and was left on the lawn. Now it came out and she was found not guilty because it looked like the cops were framing her. So it was an interesting case, lots of public attention on it. The other cases that I have coming up, Donna Adelson, this one is crazy and it's insane. I think your audience would appreciate it. This is a case down in Florida. It is a murder trial.
So people are crazy in Florida.
Yes, almost all the upcoming cases right now are all coming from Florida. I don't know what it is. They're all coming from Florida. So this is due to a custody battle. So there was a man, his name was Dan Markell. He was married to this woman named Wendy Adelson. They had 2 kids together. Now, they got divorced, right? Lived in Tallahassee. She wanted to take the kids and move to Miami because that's where her family was, right?
All right.
7-hour drive. Now, because the family wanted the kids in Miami, Dan's a law professor. He says, no, I'm going to fight you for custody and I'm going to fight you in the divorce, rightfully so. Why did the Adelson family hire a hitman to have him killed?
What?
Yes, it's crazy. And the grandmother set it up, and she's 80, and her trial starts in 2 weeks. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
Hold on. So the grandma, granny set dude up.
Someone's Mima.
Yes, I'm calling her the Queen Pin Grandma. That's how crazy this case is. So your people might actually be interested in that.
At the risk of sounding like slightly racist, is these black people?
No.
No,
they're white people.
We got enough problems
they're white people.
without gangster grannies. We don't need no damn gangster grannies.
Like, I couldn't believe it. She set this man up to get hit. And it's like there were 3 trials on this already. The hit man and a hit woman. Like, it was like 3. One of them was a Latin king. That trial went down. They're already in jail. Her brother that set it all up, who hired the hitman, he got convicted.
Crazy.
I can't wait. This one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be really good. It starts in 2 weeks.
And this is something that I tell my audience, right? So my audience, like, I tell people, like, listen, I've been doing social commentary a lot, saying, hey, like, certain things we just got to get better. Especially, like, there's a dude who I didn't know him, but I knew of him, where he had a fine dining restaurant in Oakland, and it was broken into. It was a shootout there, and he was totally heartbroken. I remember when it happened, and I remember wanting to go to the restaurant, wanting to take my lady to the restaurant, and it was like the only fine dining restaurant in Oakland, in that neighborhood, and he's closed, right? Because he was just like, I can't do it anymore, and it really broke my heart. So, like, a lot of times I talk about, like, hey, let's improve our community, let's improve ourselves. I'm concerned about, of course, the community that I'm adjacent to improve it. But I don't want anyone to think that crazy stuff just doesn't happen in every community. Like when I was growing up, I lived right by a trailer park. And that trailer park had, like, I'm talking about when I moved out of Texas to South City. That trailer park, it wasn't a black trailer park, right? It was just like, it was a trailer park, and we used to have to walk through there to go to high school. Like, my freshman year, I walked through there to go to high school. Yeah, and you would see, like, that's when I realized that, like, meth was like the white crack.
Meth is serious.
Yeah, I'd be like, so I was walking in. I remember I was like, damn, y'all doing this at 7:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Y'all looking for it? Y'all ain't sleeping.
Need that fix.
And then like I'd also see, like, a lot of in and out traffic from men going to one place, and then they got busted for, being a cat house, as we call it in the South, a cat house. And so the thing is, I definitely understand other communities, but I want to, like, I go from the Malcolm X point of view. That even though I run a business with somebody. The business it's considered a black-owned business in California because it's 50% black. Yeah, minority owned because Scott's ambiguously Asian. Scott's ambiguously Asian. But I'm concerned about that. But we're both concerned about putting out a quality programming, because this is something that I tell everybody, and this is just my personal feeling. A lot of people, they've done entertainment, but they've done it like Fox when they've done entertainment for black people. Yeah, they've done entertainment, and then they've just ran away from the community. But Tip Network is going to stay. If we're going to do something else, I'll do another channel. I do a food channel too, right? Tip Travels. We got Tip Reacts. We could do internet stuff, but this channel is focused on improving and delivering high quality, way more higher than our stream that we had before. High quality, high editing, high concept videos aimed at the community.
No, you guys do an excellent job at that.
And so that's what. But I don't think that we're the only ones who have problems. I just think that I'm concerned more because the people I've mentored have been, like, from the neighborhoods. They've been from black neighborhoods. They've been from brown neighborhoods. I mentor kids, and, like, when you see 20 out of 30 kids you mentor graduate from college, and they look at you and they say, hey, especially the last kid, he called me, he's adopted, and he's like, yo, Grove, I wouldn't have graduated if it was for you. I wanted to drop out. And his parents aren't black, and one of his parents is from an Indian dude from Canada, and his mom's a white lady from Tennessee, which is hilarious because the kid's black. He already has some issues, right? But it lets me know that words of wisdom and leadership is needed, and that's why I do this.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm snarky. Yes, I got problems. I talk too much crap. I'm combative, but at my central core, I want to help people. And at my central core, I'm very thankful to Gail at Night.
Yes, for the $10 super chat. Congratulations.
The number one,
Mhm.
number one monitor, number one mod. Listen, Gail, if I live streamed a lot, I would always have you up here. You would always be my person if I live streamed a lot. Uncle Guns, he's always here.
He's always here.
T.O. Guns.
He's out here regulating the chat.
And T.O. Guns, Uncle Guns has been, like, I seen Uncle Guns everywhere in men's spaces. Uncle Guns, OG, I've spoken to him several times.
He's been with us for a long time.
He's from
Shout out to Uncle Guns.
T.O. Guns, he's a great guy. But Gail, I've seen Gail everywhere. And I'm going to tell you something about Gail. Gail has always been lovely to me. She's always been a lovely, wonderful, sweet woman to me. She's been very respectful. And a lot of times, like, people know me. I'm not, people want to call me a pig or a misogynist, this and that. No, I appreciate women who act like women. That's what I like, right? And I expect that every woman I'm around want me to be a man. My lady never opens the door. Actually, I messed up and I didn't open the door once, and she looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?" So, because I got her spoiled, but she doesn't open. My mom doesn't open the door when she's around me. That's just the way it is. Call it simping. This is my mom and my woman. They don't have to do it. They take care of me.
Well, what happened to them calling us incels, Grover?
Hey,
that's a hilarious thing.
I mean,
we're just having fun, but I guess people get really mad and offended when we talk and make our videos.
Call me
this is entertainment, people.
Incel.
A little bit of education.
Babe, if you're listening, I want you to close your ears because I don't want you to listen to this. But back in my day, I got more ass than a toilet bowl, and Scott can tell you. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for the $10 super chat. And I want to thank all the polite savages, the lady polite savages who support us.
Yep. Thank you very much for your support.
You guys don't understand. We started, nobody cared. It took us 5 years to get monetized.
Did it really?
Well, I know you said you were going to quit. I was not going to quit. I was going to keep doing it.
I was just to my wits' end because I couldn't figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I think Scott kind of figured out that I was serious still because I was like, I'm joining Leeds Mastermind. And Scott was like, going to
we got the live stream. And Roberto Blake,
we brought the live stream, and he was in Roberto Blake's Mastermind. I was Leeds Mastermind, and we were gonna make ourselves better.
Yeah.
And I met AV in Leeds Mastermind.
Yeah.
And this is something that I tell you guys, regardless of what you're doing, I gotta listen to me, regardless of what you're doing in life. Right? First of all, you don't have to know what you're doing when you're young. Just don't do nothing. I hate no do nothing people. If you're not willing to make yourself better, then you are going to fail because no one will give a flying rat's ass about your progress if you don't. When I first started doing VODs and I was talking, ask Scott, I sucked at my vocal parts. Scott used to have to edit my vocal parts for hours. I did not know how to talk. I was impressed with how El Guapo spoke. So I asked him, and he said, do Toastmasters. So I joined Toastmasters.
Wow.
And then I started doing my speech exercises and my vocal exercises when I sung to regulate my voice more because I have a good speaking voice, but I didn't have control of it because I didn't control it for so long. And so I just want everyone to know that invest in yourself like we did, like I've seen AV do, like I've seen Elite do, like I've seen El Guapo do. So that's one of the things. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about RICOs, but we got another super chat.
Yes.
Look at that.
From
Janine Francis Harrigan,
aka
known as
Yami Suarez Paz.
No comment. Well, actually, is that the icon? That's some kind of icon right there.
That is a flag. I can't tell. Is it?
I believe that's Colombia.
Yeah, it looks like
look at that. You got the Colombia. You got Colombia in the house.
What does the lead say when there's no comment again?
No comment, no question.
It's just pure love.
Love of the game, right?
Look at that love.
But while I say Yami Suarez, I don't know if Yami is a male or female. I would say
Was Janine,
I think
right?
it's Janine.
Janine,
Yeah,
mi amigo, mucho
Yes,
gracias.
Colombiana.
Mucho gracias para 50 dinero. Mucho gracias. My the woman's like, why is he trying to speak Spanish on the stream? So tell us what you really got going next. What you got going next for yourself. I don't know, the lead's not in the backstage, but anytime you want to pop in, lead, let me know. But what you got going next, my dear?
Yeah, so really excited for the Donna Adelson case, and then it's going to be an interesting fall for us because we're also working on the YNW Melly trial, which is September 10th. So in the next 4 or 5 weeks, your girl is going to be super busy covering both of these trials as much as we can. So we're getting everybody up to speed with VOD. So as you were talking about getting better, Grover, you've personally helped me with understanding how to structure my VODs better. And we've seen some tremendous success. So just wanted to add on to that. You know, like there's so many people showing out for you guys. Like look at Miss Croti Shetty, Janine is showing out. This is progress over perfection. Like, you know, like seeing you guys grow and reach this milestone has been huge. But that's what I got going on. And I want to be like, yo, I'm trying to hit this 100,000. Okay. So I should definitely want to follow in y'all's footsteps.
Well, I say this, we got our main guy in the background. I want to say something about this person before we bring him up. And first of all, I want to say this to you, Miss AV. Having it's always important to have someone to talk to about things that go on, especially about YouTube. It's very hard to talk to YouTube. It's very hard to talk to YouTubers about YouTube because a lot of YouTubers don't have time.
No.
Like when you talk to me, I'm editing all the time when you're talking to me. I found out through YouTube that I could do like 4 things at one time. And
it is crazy. You could talk to Grover and it's like he's listening to editing and having a conversation at the same time. Yeah. I've never seen anybody do that. I can't do it.
It's because I'm clinically diagnosed with hyperactivity.
Wow.
People don't believe me, but Scott knows because he talks to me and I talk like 7 conversations.
Somehow he thinks that all of us can operate that way.
Yeah. I know. Yes, Scotty. Yes, he does.
I hear someone talking in 2x speed and just that one voice, so I can figure out what they're saying.
Yeah. So AV, I thank you so much. Thank you for working with us.
Yeah. Congratulations. Really proud of the both of you.
I have a special gift for you coming.
Oh.
So you'll get that, and so you can improve your networking. So everybody, all of my guests today, they got something. I actually paid for something out of my own pocket for them.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate that. And again, I'm just so proud of both of you guys and the progress that you've made. You know, this is, you know, not a lot of YouTubers make it to 100,000, and you guys did. You're the best at storytelling. Both of you are. So
I gotta say this though, and I want to say this, and I want to be honest. The formula of what we do was created by Scott. And that's why we stand out, because it's a hybrid system of a lot of different things that if I told exactly what it was, then he'd be pissed.
Giving away the secret sauce.
It would be hard for him to follow along.
Scott's also very cocky. It'd be hard for him to follow along.
Because I think I would get too much information.
Yeah.
And it might be information overwhelm. I'm more than happy to talk about it. But
it took me a year and a half to try to find out what he was doing. And I could watch all I want, but it took me a year and a half and when I started editing. But I will say that I will say that Scott himself, the way that THPP Network looks, the way that the presentation, that's the creative direction right there. The storytelling, a lot of stories, I pick a lot of the stories, I think. But as far as like
he's like, not all of them.
A lot of them. I pick a lot of the stories. Some of the stories.
Let's just say some of those really intricate stories,
Scott,
and some of the stories that you don't think I'm in the video. Guess who made the stories?
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
When it comes down to it, FBA culture, Black American culture, especially in the arts and stuff. Forefront. Like even the Manosphere. The reason why we got so we pivoted our channel because I watched Kevin Samuels over the during the coronavirus lockdowns, and I was just like, oh, who is this guy? And so to me, bar none. When it comes down to Manosphere content, I believe the Black space, hands down, has got it. And we don't have much of a male perspective. There's a lot on the other side, you know, but in this space, like you got the big hitters like O'Shea Duke Jackson. We had Kevin Samuels, the lead attorney.
The lead.
I know he doesn't call himself Manosphere, but you know. Of course, TBA, one of my favorites. It's kind of shocker, but
Scott introduced me to the Black Authority.
Dennis Sperling and the Ice Lords, El Guapo.
MTR.
Yeah, MTR.
Big MTR. I'm a big MTR fan. I was more of a big MTR and a big O'Shea Duke Jackson fan. Scott actually introduced me to Kevin Samuels and to. I
was like, you should do a video on him.
And to the business. He was listening to the business, and he was like
religiously.
He was like, I like this dude, and I was like, this is some black shit. Anyway,
well, I'll have to say, when it comes to Corey Holcomb content, is that actually Grover. We were technically the first one in the space to cover Corey Holcomb, and that was off of.
I've been a chat room goon 5150 since 2015.
Yeah,
I've been like an OG 2015 5150
like
fan.
a decade. It's been like 10 years.
Love you to death, sis. Thank you for rocking with us. But right now, we're gonna bring up my personal mentor in YouTube, and so I'm super excited. I want to welcome the lead attorney to the stream.
Okay. Later, AV.
Later.
Bye,
AV.
guys. Have a good one. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this man right here.
All right, here we are. If I can hit my little, can y'all hear that? How are y'all doing? Man, y'all's camera looks so much better than mine. I need to clean my lens off. I'm working with this new teleprompter. It's not new. I've had it for a while.
Yes, sir.
I think the lens is a little dusty. Y'all's production value is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, but our start and finish value.
Yeah.
We're once we get going, we can go, but I don't know. Sir, first of all, before anything, I want to thank you personally. You've given me personally so much information in YouTube space as a part of your mastermind. You are one of the first folks to really recognize as one of the first big creators. There's a lot of other little creators, but like when we got your attention, I was like, okay, we're doing something right. And you were giving us a lot of props on the editing back when we used to have the green screen behind us.
Yeah, even then though, it was amazing.
You can't forget that thankful stream.
The thankful stream,
the Grover Damas.
Oh yeah. So the lead attorney and stopped his stream. We were like stuck at 942 subs, and we just couldn't get another sub. We released a video. The video would be like 7 views.
Been there.
You're like, what the hell is wrong with us? Because you know how it is. And the 100%. Lead actually stopped his stream and said, listen, guys, I don't want to go further unless we get the THPP Network monetized. We were monetized on New Year's Eve, and I think 2022 or 2023?
Right before 2023.
Right before 2023.
I tried to find that stream, but I guess lead.
Yeah, we were looking for the stream. We were actually going to cut it in before you and play it before you, but I think you took it down or we couldn't find it.
What was it about?
It was your New Year's Eve stream. It was like a 12-hour stream, too. I was so happy I didn't have to look through it.
If you would have told me, I would have tried to find it.
Yeah, I got you here. I was not asking for nothing.
No, you should have let me know. Sometimes, every now and then, I will take it down. You know, especially back then, because I was learning myself, so I was messing up sometimes, and sometimes if I mess up too bad, I'll just take the whole stream down. But I wish I would have known. I would have looked for it.
But I mean, I think like there's a lot of times where people don't understand the information that you have and how generous you are with the information to give to folks, especially in the mastermind. We would just be able to talk to you, and you would just the value of that was far more than what I was paying a month. I was happy to pay that a month to be able to get some FaceTime and to be able to talk to that gentleman, and for us to know exactly kind of what we had to do. And I was really, I wanted to quit. And I didn't want to quit because I'm a quitter. I wanted to quit because I felt like I wasn't going to figure it out. And we got monetized. And then I was still,
with whose help?
With the lead's help.
The lead's help. Got us over that 1,000 subscriber hump.
I was in the car. I was in the car with my lady, and we were going somewhere, and she was like ready to go. And I sent you a super chat, and you said you stopped it. And I called Scott, and I was like, bro, we're over the hump. And then we went out and ate. It was New Year's or something.
That's awesome. But no, listen, y'all did all the hard work. That's like if you run the 100-yard dash and you get, 9 inches away from the finish line, and I push you over, right? Y'all ran the 100 yards. I just did the little push. So congratulations to y'all, even though that was a long time ago. And now to see this milestone, the 100,000 subscriber mark, which is, it's super tough. I think that the biggest milestones are really the most important one, of course, is the 1,000, just to get monetized. So many people don't even make it to that. But then to get to 100,000, that's amazing. That's probably the furthest milestone. I mean, the other milestone I would consider is like 1 million, but like who really gets to that, right? So getting to the 100,000, I think, is like the biggest kind of round number milestone that's realistic, and it's so hard to get to.
I remember I was on your 100,000 live stream. When you popped in, and I popped in because I will pop up on your live stream. One of the things that I got from you, I learned from you, is that anytime. One thing I really learned from you is only go up on streams that align with your purpose, and that you're just not. I would go on streams to just be a waste of time. And then it also taught me that, like, when you get somebody that you want to make sure that you get value, but you want to give them value too, right?
100%.
And so one of the things that I think that you're really good at is really breaking down, because you were a 20-year family attorney, and you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's true.
I've
been a part of it, professionally and personally.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to, if I can, to spend a second, because the biggest thing I get from in my chat is whenever we do anybody who paid any money, or Tony Braxton asked for $160 million because Birdman busted open a few times and she's married for 2 weeks, or like everybody, the money, everybody gets so worried about the money. And then they always want to say prenups don't work. And listen, I would just love, because I have the opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah.
To just talk about, like, how do you make sure that your prenup doesn't fall apart?
Yeah, keeping your prenup together is certainly important, but it's good to start off with a little context about what a prenup is. And really what a prenup is just a contract. You get online these days and you see so many men who are scared to get married. And a lot of that fear is justified. It's understandable. But, I don't think a lot of men really appreciate the value of being married to the right woman. And if men could really see how being together with the right woman could improve their lives, they would be so much more open to it and wouldn't take this defensive stance. They would be more offensive. They would find ways, okay, let's say, how do we do this? How do I get this value, this benefit into my life? As opposed to just saying, well, I'm scared I'm going to lose half my stuff, so I don't want to do it, and just play defense for the rest of my life. Now, if you want to be 24 and alone, 26 and alone, 32 and alone, 80 and alone, that's fine. A lot of people are meant to be alone. And we all know as guys, a lot of times we like our alone time. We don't necessarily want a woman around us 24/7. But I found that if I look back, through the entirety of my life, really the best times have been when I am not alone, whether I'm with friends or family or a wife or something like that. I think that humans in general are social people in general. And so if men could find a way to not demonize marriage, and Lord knows these divorce laws have a lot to do with the demonization. I think men's lives would be improved. I think a large majority of men's lives would be improved if they could find a way to get married. And a prenup is the key. Now, very few people, I think, realistically understand what a prenup entails, especially a woman. Because if you present the idea of a prenup to a woman, she'll think, oh, well, you're not trying to give me anything. You're trying to screw me and this and that. And a lot of men feel the same way, like, oh, I got to get a prenup so, you know, she doesn't fuck me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it doesn't need to be this way. It doesn't need to be adversarial. A prenup can be super flexible. It could say a lot of things. You know, one of the things that burns men up the most in their divorces is alimony and paying the wife's attorney's fees. Like, why, if you want to divorce me, and I think that the studies show that women divorce men much more than vice versa. You want to divorce me, that's fine. Why do I have to pay your attorney to divorce me? How does that make sense? Right? Why don't you pay? You want to leave, that's fine. Why do I have to pay? And then
just think about how to. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
I called the police. I was in trouble. They arrested me.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I called the police and they showed up and shot me. Like, what? I was asking for help. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yes, sir.
Also, alimony. You know, a lot of men see a lot of obligation in marriage, a lot of duty in marriage, and that's fine. And women, I think, to a lesser extent, but women also. And women might do things that, you know, they don't necessarily want to do, but they'll do it because you're the husband and they're married, right? But let's say, like, in the bedroom type stuff, a woman necessarily, if she doesn't like you, marriages go up and down, right? You have fun times and you have not so fun times. But, you know, during the marriage, there might be times when a woman doesn't necessarily want to please her husband, but she might do it just off the strength, saying, hey, you know, I know you got needs and you're my husband. But after she divorces the husband, she doesn't want to fulfill that obligation anymore. She wants that obligation to kind of disappear. Like, you know, we've been divorced for 6 months. Why do I have to come over to your house and give you some ass? Like, I shouldn't have to do that. And most men would be like, okay, that's fair. But then when you have alimony, you know, why is it that after we divorce 6 months later, I got to send you a check? And 7 months later, I got to send you a check. And 17 years later, I got to send you a check. Why is that? You know, so much about the prenuptial agreements. It's not trying to screw one party or the other. It's just to level the playing field. Maybe I don't want to pay for your attorney to screw me. If you don't want to come, you know, 9 months after we're divorced and suck me off, like, why do I have to send you a $3,000 check 9 months later? Can we make it even? So, you know, that's what I would wish that men would understand about prenups. It's not about screwing one party or the other. It's just about setting the incentives correctly and making sure no one gets screwed in the end.
Wow. And you said something, because I was thinking about it. You know, first of all, man, I don't know how you do it, because you know how to talk, boy.
Well,
man, I know you was an attorney, boy. I know you was killing them in there.
Yeah,
I know you was killing it. I know you got that little southern drawl just in the right spot. You very good there.
I'll tell you, the southern drawl doesn't get you very far in Georgia, because we all talk like this.
Yeah. Well, I know I use it all the time when I'm out here. I go very Texas very quickly if I'm talking.
I hear that.
You said 17 years later, and then it occurred to me, it popped into my head that you could pay alimony forever.
Oh yeah, I think in fact in California, for example, that's the standard. They have indefinite alimony. And in fact, it's so often the case that, especially back in the day, you would pay alimony for longer than you were actually married. Like, you would have been married for 14 years and you end up paying alimony for 30. Like, it's like, how is that fair? Right? So shout out to Gail, shouting out to Deck. Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Crow T. Chetty. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So prenups, guys, prenups allow you to get married with the right incentives. Can you be married without a prenup? Absolutely. Can your marriage be beautiful without a prenup? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I recommend anyone getting married without a prenup? No. Let's just set everything up where it's fair. And then let's throw the prenup in the closet and never have to consider it again. It's like an insurance policy. I've had insurance policies on all my houses. I've had fire insurance. I have never had a house burned down in my life. Hopefully I never will, but I have that coverage, and it's somewhere in the clouds or in the closet or wherever I keep my little insurance policy these days. And I've got it back there, and I never think about it. In fact, I just said this whole fire, house is burning down. I've never thought about my house burning down maybe in 2-3 years. So that's how a prenup can be. It can just secure you, secure your wife, make sure everything is right, and then you never have to think about it. But it allows you to get married, which so many men are scared to do these days.
Well, I don't blame men for not. For first of all, getting married is just a horror. Social media could really cloud things. Like
100%.
You said something that was so important: finding the right woman, finding a woman who's just there for you. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Oh, let me give a shout out to Mr. Ray, who just became
_504.
Mr. Ray 504. 504.
That's New Orleans, right? We the 504 boys, and the hot boys, right?
Yeah. But like the right person is so important.
Yeah, can I chime in real quick? All right. So I'm talking to my girlfriend right now about the prenup. And I just texted her right now because I've watched an actual special live stream of yours. I think it was a Q&A live stream of the lead attorneys where you actually broke down the prenup. I got I think I have the link somewhere. So she responds, I said, do you hear the prenup talk? Saying to her. And she's like, I do. I'm like, Scott ain't changing his mind. So that's all you, Lee. You influence me.
Scott ain't changing his mind. I love it. I love it. And I would listen. You can bring her
I
up.
didn't get no ass tonight either.
It's actually the men. You know, men screw up so much, and they will absolutely screw up a prenup talk. They will, you know, you hear online, oh, man, you should ask your woman for a prenup. And if she balks or if she hesitates or if she gets mad, you should leave her and dump her. And that, you know, that's not the right woman for you. And that is so untrue. What a prenup is a contract. And what your woman is, she's a lay person. She doesn't understand contracts. She has this idea of what a prenup right might be, but you haven't shown her the prenup. You haven't shown her how fair it is. You haven't shown her what's in it. You just, oh, you're gonna sign a prenup, and you ain't told her what's in it. You haven't told her why. Of course she's gonna freak out. Like, what are you even talking about? You think we're gonna get divorced? You think I'm gonna screw you? And she has this hesitation, and social media is telling you to dump her, and you've been with this lady for 4-5 years. You know, so a lot of times presenting the prenup correctly is so important. And as a man, you know, that's what, if you're going to ask for something, you need to know how to present it. It shouldn't be on the woman to just understand exactly what you mean. We men so many times blame these women, rightly so, for expecting us to be mind readers, right? Well, conversely, she's not a mind reader when you say that you want a prenup. She doesn't know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. She doesn't know what you want in the prenup. She doesn't know anything. So if men could understand how to present the prenup correctly, then that would go a long way. And I do want to say this too. Yes, you know, I noticed, you know, when Scotty texts his girlfriend about the prenup, and the girlfriend says, yeah, you know, this guy's not changing his mind. I love that. And I would give that an A. But the A+ to me would be if she would have said, we are not changing our mind, right? That would be the A+, because that would make me understand that Scotty has explained the benefits of the prenup to her. So it's not like she's, you know, being disadvantaged at all, right? Because you can drop a prenup in a lot of ways. So Scotty gets an A, but if you really want the A+, it would be good if both parties saw some benefit in it.
So, and it's like any contract, you can't, well, I know, hey, so listen, I have negotiated tons of contracts in my life. The contract has to be executionable. It has to be, you have to be able to actually do the contract. I can't write a contract that says I'm flying to the moon. You know, it has to be a contract that's executable, and both sides have to understand the contract for it to be really enforced. So, like, for instance, if you bring a woman from Mexico and you give her a prenup, and you know that English is her second language, she just barely started speaking English, and you give her a prenup in English, then there's a chance that she's going to be able to say that she didn't understand the contract that she was signing. And since you have a power dynamic over her, that's under coercion, correct?
100%, 100%. If that were me, you would definitely want the prenup in English because if worse comes to worse and you have to present it in a court, you want the judge to be able to read it. But if her primary language is, let's say, Spanish, for example, what I would do, I wouldn't go on ChatGPT-4 or anything like that. I would pay a federally certified translator. And one who works in the courts, so one who knows legal terminology. And I would pay $250, $300, and I would say, hey, translate this from English to Spanish. And the fact that she's, let's say she, for example, she's federally certified, that's a big deal to be federally certified to work in the federal courts as a translator. That test is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do, and I would have it in both languages. I would have her own attorney. If you're the man and you want her to sign it, I would pay for it.
Yeah.
I would say I wouldn't necessarily select the attorney, but I would have her pay. I would pay for it and say, hey, here's 3 names, or you could find whoever you want. And then I would make sure that attorney read it to her, explained it to her, signed off on it, so that we can say she understood it because it was in English and it was in her native language, translated by a federally certified translator or an interpreter. And she had an attorney who explained everything to her. And honestly, I would get an attorney who spoke Spanish. Right, a Spanish-speaking attorney who could speak to her in Spanish. I mean, this is, I would try to cover my bases on this, and this is why, if you're going to think about a prenup, you might want to consult an attorney. Don't necessarily just go on LegalZoom, because LegalZoom isn't going to think about having the attorney speak Spanish and getting the paperwork federally or translated through a federal court interpreter. LegalZoom's not going to think about that stuff. But if you hire a good attorney who's experiencing these things, they're going to say, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Get her own attorney, pay for it, things of that nature. And that is going to really strengthen the prenup that you get, which will help you, but it will also help her as well, and hopefully you can get a bulletproof prenup and then forget about it. It's like having a bulletproof vest and then putting it in the closet.
Man, you dropping game. You are Kobe Bryant his last game. He shot 80 points. You dropping game, man.
I'm trying, man. I've been doing it for a long time. Do you understand? Let me tell you something. So Pimp, I'm gonna get on your case because don't you understand that what you just did is so needed? It's so I appreciate
important. I did a stream.
And I want you to finish this too, but I don't want us to keep talking without acknowledging El Guapo's on the street, right? So we definitely need to acknowledge our man. But
Nah, it's like, well, first of all, I got both of my brothers on screen with me, so I'm super humbled for like great content creators. One of the things that I say is don't ever stop. This game is so important because how you just told it was women need to hear this. Women need to hear exactly how you said it, so that a situation where they can say, oh, okay, so we're just trying to make sure everything's cool. And then we just gonna throw it in the closet.
Yes.
Because guess what? Here, I'm gonna let everybody in on a little secret because I've seen a whole lot of this. People go down this road. You got a prenup whether you want it or not. It's just that the state gonna do it for you.
100%.
And
100%.
And I remember I was talking to a good friend of mine, this gentleman, his name is Mars. Well, it's not his real name, we call him Mars. And Mars, I worked for him, my first job I ever worked for. Mars was worth about $4.5 million when he got his divorce. And I said, Mars, tell me how your divorce went. Cause I seen him and he was kind of disheveled and he was in his I'm gonna go to every foreign country I will never date in the United States thing back in 2000, right? Because I said, well, how was it? And he looked at me and he said, Grover, her attorney handed me a card and it lied. And I said, well, what should it have said? He said, it should have said 1-800 Dick in your booty. Exactly. And he walked in, and I swear on everything that's holy, we were in front of a barbecue place and he turned around and walked away after he said that. and went and got him some food. He meant it was a period. He meant it. And so I just say, everybody, I think that the only way, especially for the community, is together. Because you look at as much money as we earn, and you say, oh, we don't earn a lot of money. Yeah, because we don't have per household, we're not earning a lot because our household is not together. But if I'm making 120 and you making 50, we're in the top echelon of the household. And I'm gonna get mine, baby.
Yeah.
We gonna have everything we want. And I'm gonna share. Only thing, listen, I'm easy. Only thing you got to do is make sure I got some chicken and some turkey. I just need some food, a back rub, some back shots, and I'm happy.
Listen, you're exactly right. Guys are so easy. Women are so complicated and got this, 250-point list of what they want that changes all the time. Guys are super easy. But, men, we just we operate on such a basic level sometimes, and we don't understand what's going on, and we get on this internet and we get confused about how to talk to women and the benefits of marriage. All we hear is the negativity. I hear so many men talk about what do men want out of a marriage? They want to change the marriage laws, and they want the reduction or the elimination of no-fault divorce. So they want to trap their wives into the marriage, right? Because they know that a lot of times women will divorce. Do you know what one of the best ways to keep your woman in a marriage, like one of the absolute hands down best ways, to get a prenup? Let me tell you, there's a singer.
When you said that, I leaned in. I was like, for real? What?
Yeah, that special live stream is pinned up on our chat section.
We pinned the prenup live stream to the chat.
Oh, did you find it?
I have it saved. I wrote down notes.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you, there's this singer, and he's not very popular in the black space, but in the white space, everybody knows who he is. If we got any white people in the chat, white people know him. It's this country singer who made one song a year or two ago and just blew up. It was a song about kind of everybody just being poor, disenfranchised. He's like a heavy set dude with a beard and red hair.
Jelly Roll?
Yeah, I think it's Jelly Roll.
Is it Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll.
What's the song that he made? It was about America and how we can't.
I don't know.
Y'all know who I'm talking about?
I just know how he looks.
He's a big guy, right?
And he's with the guitar. Is it Jelly Roll?
Maybe it's not Jelly Roll. Because Jelly Roll is kind of famous. I don't know. Now we got now Scott's looking it up.
It's this guy. Anyway, he made a song, and it was about just not being able to get ahead, and the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. It was about a year or two ago, or maybe 3, and just blew up.
Yeah,
out of nowhere from one song. And so he was talking to Joe Rogan, like, hey man, all of these companies, they're all beating down my door. They're offering me 3 million, 5 million. Who should I go with? And Joe Rogan was like, listen, don't sign with anybody. Don't sign with anybody. You can do it yourself. Maybe it's Toby Keith. Yeah. He says, Uncle Gunn says, I'm the white guy in the chat. He said, Joe Rogan said, listen, if you made this one song, you can make 1,000 of these. You don't need a record company. So he didn't sign with anybody and just got paid. I think he got like $8-9 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Wife immediately divorced him. Right. Immediately divorced his ass and took half. But when they were poor, they were married and suppose they got kids and everything. They were happy. When he blew up, when he got on, Oliver Anthony, thank you. She divorced his ass instantaneously.
Jesus Christ.
Why? Because of the incentives. Now, if you look at him and you look at her, you'd be like, okay, they belong together, because she looked like how you would expect someone to look, who's kind of poor, white, in that social class, look like they're from the mountains. You picture, overweight, the hair, how she looks. But when she's like, I can cash out for $4.5 million and live my best life and get this and get that. Like, forget this dude. She ain't saying Nan note. She ain't wrote Nan, right? She ain't wrote Nan word on a song, Nan lyric, but she cashed him out. But what if he would have had a prenup? If he would have had a prenup and she would have stayed with him, the wife could have enjoyed all of the riches, and the man could have enjoyed the riches and his wife, but he didn't set himself up that way. He gave her an incentive to leave. He gave her the incentive to, listen, when we're poor, you're going to be with me, but if I ever blow up, I'm going to give you a ticket out. Like, why don't you just set it up so that she'll have an incentive to stay with you and enjoy the money together? Right? Man. You can do a lot with $7, $8, $9, $10 million. You could do so much. But no, now she saw that she could get $4.5 million or whatever, let's assume, for free. She was out. Did the laws need to change and no fault divorce? And no, all he needed to do was sign a little 5-page prenup. He was like, oh, well, you know, I ain't got nothing. We're poor. What do I need a prenup for? It's like, but then what men are? What's that?
Don't you believe in yourself? We ain't got nothing. You gonna get something.
Exactly what men are. We are very, you know, we got ingenuity. Now some men don't, but a lot of men do. And just because a lot of men in prison, let's be honest. And even them men, you know, some of them men got to prison because, you know, they got ingenuity. It just didn't work out.
God, I love this.
Men really try to climb the ladder in general. So even if you don't have anything, it doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means you haven't climbed high yet, but it could happen. Mm-hmm. You know, I was some actor that I was watching. Who was it? I forget who the actor was, but the actor. Oh, it was the Inglourious Basterds guy with the Christopher Waltz or whatever. Oh, like he blew up, just absolutely blew when he was like 53 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was grinding the whole time. So if men could understand, you don't need to change the laws to keep your woman to stay with you. You know, just set up the incentives so that she has an incentive to stay with you, and then hope for the best. Right? That's all you gotta do.
Lead. You would be surprised every time I talk about divorce or anything, or every time I talk about people breaking up, you see people in church, I ain't never getting married. I ain't never getting married. I ain't never get married. And I'm like, bro, listen, man, I understand. I don't want nobody to get married who don't want to get married. I don't want nobody to do anything they don't want to do, right? But I will tell you this, don't make decisions in life out of fear. Make decisions out of life with a solutions-based mindset. That's the only thing I ever believe in. I can't tell you what to do, but make your decision out of an idea that there is a solution. Lead, a couple of things I want to say. And I want to say this sincerely. I don't care what you say, you pushed us across the finish line. I don't believe that without your influence, we would have been where we were. I definitely don't think we would have got to 100,000. I think that being a part of your mastermind was one of the pivotal things of my YouTube career. I think that it's very hard to find people with knowledge, personality, who can show you how to do it. And I think you're one of those folks. And I'm going to say this, Lead. And I'm going to say this, and I'll be real, because I can never tell a man what to do. But motherfucker, don't you ever stop preaching what you just preached. That was the most impressive shit. I just sat here. I wasn't on screen. I looked at Scott and I said, this motherfucker is cooking.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you for being so patient with us, with our it did lead said, nigga, you just go get on stream, y'all.
Yeah, man. And I was, I was talking about El Guapo too when y'all were having all y'all. I was like, see, I don't know why y'all try to get all fancy. I really don't. I mean,
here comes
listen,
the hate.
OBS.
I've been trying to be nice now.
Yeah.
Listen, clean that camera lens, sir, while you talking ish.
I do. I really do. Right, Zoom got on me. Zoom was like, I can barely even see your ass.
What is it? What is that? A teleprompter?
It's a teleprompter.
I figured that. Okay.
Yeah, so I need to clean the glass. But
if Lee was darker, he would have blended in with that motherfucker. Thank God he ain't Michael Blackson. Lee would have had to talk with a Nigerian accent if he would have.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to El Guapo. Talking about the mastermind, we were talking about this off camera, but El Guapo was in my first mastermind. Yeah. Like I always just loved how El Guapo brings the content. I could just see it, man. And I saw the same thing with y'all. So I know that y'all got just great things ahead, along with El Guapo and a lot of other people in the space. But I'm glad that you joined the mastermind, and I'm glad that now I had to stop it because all my I got a diagnosis and everything. But I'm glad that y'all are picking up the baton and starting one up in August, and I would love to be a part of it. I do think that I'm a pretty good live streamer, but I will tell you, I have been frustrated to no end with these VODs. I'm still not for VODs. I mean, video guys, just in the chat, there's kind of two basic types of YouTubers. There's the YouTubers that y'all think about, the ones that make videos. And then there's like the redheaded stepchildren, which are the live streamers right now. Right. I think I am pretty talented as a live streamer, and I've been doing that for a lot of years. But I've had to kind of get out of my comfort zone and start doing these VODs now, these videos, and it's a completely different beast. And one of the reasons that I was so blessed to have you in the mastermind, Grover, is that you've got these VODs down, and you were telling so many people, you were telling people in the mastermind so many things that I just didn't know. I didn't have the capability to tell these people and to teach these people this stuff. So you were absolutely like a teacher in the mastermind. And so you starting your own mastermind, I know it's going to be hugely successful, and people are going to learn so much about creating these videos, because I've got a few 100,000 subscribers, and creating videos is difficult for me. And then I hear you talk about it, and I hear the systems that you and Scotty have set up, and the editors and all that. I mean, it would take people years to try to figure out this stuff. And you could tell it to them in a few sessions. And I think on top of that, you offer private consultations where people can get a direct feed to you. So I think if anyone is thinking about starting a YouTube channel, number one, I think you should absolutely try. I will tell you that, me and YouTube are not in a great space right now because I'm trying to figure out these VODs. But every single day that I wake up, and I can wake up at 10 in the morning, I wake up at 11, and I'm not, in some courtroom trying to argue this or that, is an absolute blessing. And YouTube allows me to do that.
Yeah.
So I just think anybody who has the opportunity to gain knowledge from your wisdom is blessed. So I'm glad you are starting a mastermind, and I want to be a part of it.
The cat's out of the bag. So I guess we can officially announce that we're going to start our mastermind. The YouTube.
Oh, was I supposed to? I didn't know I was supposed to.
We're going to launch it. And it's okay, because we're just going to clip this right here and use it as our. That's why I let him talk. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to clip this.
Awesome.
But, I have to say that, like, I'm internally blessed because we started our channel 7 years ago, June 6th, 7 years ago.
No, 7/27/2018.
7/27.
So our 7-year anniversary was just a few days ago.
And we absolutely did not know what we were doing. Back then, YouTube, you could do a bunch of stuff. Everybody was trying to be Joe Rogan. You talk about a bunch of stuff. Niches, we didn't really know about niches. Then one thing that happened, I was really lucky, is that I was working 55 hours a week, and Scott was learning about YouTube. And Scott made a big sacrifice and like was really working crap jobs so he can learn about YouTube.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed doing Amazon Flex. It was cool.
Scott was doing Amazon
Flex.
Shout out to Amazon Flex.
I like it.
But and so I did something this year. Was I quit my job and I do YouTube full time.
Wow!
And
congratulations! Oh, I was exactly right. Congratulations! Let me hit it right there, because that's humongous. Absolutely humongous.
Let me show you how to do that. Watch this. You need to get off that StreamYard. There you go.
Exactly. No one heard that but you. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Thank you, El Guapo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for proving that I am the lead. Thank you so much.
You are the lead, man. Look, you saw the way he said, look, I have a few 100,000. You got 500,000 subscribers, boss.
500,000.
Man, you ain't slick, bro.
Listen,
500,000.
El Guapo's like, everybody hear this. Yeah.
I wore my blue suit for you, Lee.
I love it. I love it.
I knew Lee was coming. I knew Guap was coming, so I wore a jacket and a hat. I'm trying to look my best and my stylish. I'm usually in sweats and a bad attitude. Lee, I don't have the words to thank you for. You don't understand. Nobody was really messing with us like that, bro. And the people who did mess with us, they weren't like the big dog, and they didn't have connections, and they didn't have time for us. And so I'm going to be eternally grateful. Nobody could tell me anything bad about you. There was times as certain things come up. Well, I don't know about the leader. I said, well, I know you need to talk to somebody else about that shit because that's my guy. That's just how I am.
I appreciate
That's
that.
how I am with my folks. And if you ever need anything, you know, my door is 100% open. I thank you so much for being patient with us. Thank you for rocking with us, and thank you for being our guest along with AV and along with Guap on my celebration and our celebration, because it's really cool to celebrate, but it's better to celebrate with people that you respect and like.
And Lee, just let you know, I enjoy every time I get to take a clip of you and put it in our videos. I make it a point to try to find when can I put the lead in it.
Yeah,
when can I put this pre-nuptial episode in?
And y'all are good because y'all find stuff. I'm like, man, how did you find that? One of one of the biggest mistakes that I ever did was not cataloging my stuff as I went along. And now I'll try to, I did this. There's no way for me to find it. So
hey Lee,
you guys are amazing with that.
Check this out. And the Mastermind will teach you.
Yeah, there you go. I will be there. All right. So everybody join the Mastermind. It will be amazing that Grover's and Scotty are going to host. So thank you so much. Also, big shout out to Mrs. Crow T. Chetty over there in the chat. Big shout out to her as a huge supporter of mine for years as well. Been supporting me on my side. Shout out to Gail as well, my #1 moderator, also a person who was there at the beginning. I remember when I got mad. I got so mad at Gail because I found out that Gail was moderating for other people. I thought every single channel had one moderator. I didn't know Gail was in these streets.
Playing field.
Yeah, Gail's out there. I was so mad, like Gail cheating on me. Shout out to Gail. She is the absolute best. All right, but I ain't gonna long stroke y'all, man. Thank you guys so much for the invitation again. I appreciate it. Big shout out to El Guapo, who's gonna take the baton from me, and it's great to see you, El Guapo. So y'all have a great night.
All right.
It's good to talk to you first time, Lead.
Yes, it's great to see you too. I appreciate that. Great to see
that
you.
impression, the first, but we'll get
No. Listen, if y'all see some of my VODs, you'll be like, "What is this dude talking about?" So VODs and streams, they're just totally different, But I'm glad y'all got it up and running. All right. So shout out to you guys. I hope y'all have a great night.
Shout out.
And
Uncle
congratulations again on the 100,000.
Thank you so much. Uncle Guns, thank you for silencing that person who was spamming our chat. I appreciate that. And now I got the man right here. So everybody gets an introduction today. First of all, this man is patient. I talk to him quite frequently. He actually made Tip Travel's first episode possible. He's supposed to go with me and he couldn't. So I'm mad, but I ain't that mad. This man has the #1 voice on YouTube. But besides having the voice, the Golden Frog, the Black Meltor May, besides having that,
the Golden Frog.
One thing that I have to say is that when I talk to this man, he's somebody that I can go to in confidence. I can talk to him. We work over problems. We work it over in the back end. And the first person I called from YouTube when I decided not work anymore was this man. Is my brother Guapo from the Beautiful Lies podcast, direct from Kingmaker Studios. And I just want to welcome him to the stream. Take it away, sir. You say anything you want to say, but you got to give us your greetings.
I'll give it to you, man. Well, what's good, team? Salute and salutations. Welcome to the TIP Network 100,000 subscriber celebration. Lead making fun of my sounds. You can't hear this? Maybe you can't.
It's StreamYard.
The StreamYard is not working. I'll get it to come through. But man, I really appreciate being invited to this momentous occasion, man. Scotty, Grover, we've had the ability to work together for a while. For those of you that don't know, Scotty is the Vietnamese sensation that I talk about all the time that has helped my channel get to where it is now. Grover, you've been my brother in this endeavor since the very beginning, man. And to see you all catapult to that huge milestone of 100,000 subscribers, it was a beautiful thing, man. I'm sitting there every morning checking. I'm like, man, they're getting close. So man, to see it happen, you know, to you all, I don't think it could have happened to another set of content creators in this space in a better way than it did. And from the inside, like being a creator and seeing how you all kept pushing the gas, and then when you finally caught that momentum and took off, it was a beautiful thing, man. So I really have enjoyed this journey with you all. It's been really awesome, man.
Yeah, I have to say, Grover really did definitely push the gas to where we are now. So just the momentum that we've been have gained to get to 100K is on him. He is the operations manager. Yeah. So sometimes it gets on my nerves a little bit, but you know, it's all for the grand plan, and it worked out. So, you know,
if it didn't work out, it was going to really suck. But what I first of all, Guap, thank you so much for just your support. A lot of times people don't understand, like, listen, we got a great job. Being a YouTuber is a great job. But being a YouTuber, when you're working full time and you're putting in 85, 90 hours a week, dude, like there was times I remember. So when I was going to quit, I was on a job site and something had happened, and I knew I didn't have to work anymore, but I wanted to work further. So I called my my lady and I said, "Listen, I think I'm done. I think I just need to do YouTube." And she said, "You're too stressed anyway. And I just do it for yourself. I think it's going to be better." So Lead said having the right person in your corner is so important. I see a lot of dudes, you want to go out it alone. Hey, brother, go out it alone if you want to. I'm never going to tell you to do anything that you want to do. But if you find a good one, and Scott can tell you, I'm talking about the person who's pushed, talk about a supporter. My lady made like stickers for cars for us and pins and gave them out to people at her job, and watch you know, and these people only speak Spanish. And she like, no, I don't care. You go tune in. You go like they turn on. She said, turn on the captions and they'll translate it for you on YouTube. You got to watch and support and like that. And like one day she called me. She was like, your video got a lot of views because I made sure 100 people at the job site watched it. And it's like I'm just like, wow. And I can't say when you got one, right? And I know because you were sharing your story on your stream when I was watching about your situation and how you got, you know, and so when you got the right woman, and that's why I wanted the Lead to come up and talk about that. And so I'm just so humble when I have friends like you, like Lead, friends like Scott. I don't really deserve it because sometimes I'm an ass, bro. Sometimes I'm tough. I want to push. I was raised like a pit bull without a leash. You don't understand. My dad was hard. My dad told me that you can be a man or you can be a punk, but I only raise men. And we go and we get it and we work hard until we're done working, and then you work a little harder because you got to be 25 times better as a black man in America to make it. Now, listen, I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that I worked harder than everybody and I made it. So, you know, maybe my dad just didn't think I was talented. Maybe he knew I had to work harder than other people. Regardless of what it is, he knew how to push me. I credit you to, like, I remember I called you. One of the first things I talked to you about was I wanted to know, how did you orate so well? And you said Toastmasters.
Yeah. So I told you was what got me over the finish line. Yeah. I was in Toastmasters back in the military. That helped a lot. Yeah. But you said a lot. And I want to address this because I love these full circle conversations, man. Sir. So first things first. We talk about success happening behind the scenes, happening in the dark. Although you talk about the live streams that you did about the Steen Ep stuff and everything, and it was years ago and nobody was on there, but that's you sharpening your knives. That's you calibrating your tools and everything like that. And then you get a master craftsman with a specific set of skills like the lead attorney that's willing to give back. And so this is not me blowing sunshine. And I appreciate the lead attorney giving me the bandwidth to, you know, just jab back and forth a little bit, and it's all in fun. But I respect that man immensely because the things that he taught us, he didn't have to teach us. He could have kept that all to himself, rode off into the sunset, and been great. But immediately he poured back into the system. He poured back into the community, and I appreciate that. And I see the growth in you. I know the growth happened with me, and I see now that that's growing exponentially through you starting your own mastermind, you and Scotty. And I'm going to tell you something. People don't realize it. The amount of knowledge and expertise that you all are going to get, and I'm not trying to sell them. I just have worked with both of them. The amount of knowledge and expertise, if you want to do YouTube, you're going to be hard pressed to learn it from anybody better than Scotty and Grover. I remember, Grover, I'm not going to give away your secret sauce, pause, but you were sitting there and you were breaking down the timeline and how specific and structured every single video is. I was like, damn, bro, like he's really got this formula figured out. Scotty would sit there and tear apart the analytics on my channel. And he'd say, Guapo, you need to do this and this and this. And I'd half-ass it because I got a regular job and stuff like that. And half the time, Scotty would have to go in there and just do it himself. I was like, man, just give him access to the channel. Just do what you can, man. Just don't look at the paycheck and we're good. I think you know what I'm saying? So my whole point here is that we are so much stronger together than we'll ever be apart. You know what I mean? And that one of the things I started my channel out with is talking about success, right? And so success leaves clues and success principles translate. So if it works here, it's probably going to work there. And Lead was talking about some of the happiest times in his life were with other people. And Grover just touched on this about his wife and what she does to help him out, to encourage him to move to the next level, to be that actual helpmeet. And I see in the chat and everything, people are like, man, why even getting married? Y'all, have you seen these dating streets? Have you seen what's been going on with the T app? Have you seen what it's really like out here? You can go live in that trench. I'm not going to participate.
Yeah.
So, and here's the cool thing. You have the roadmap how to do it. Now, not everybody's meant to be married, but it's something to be said about having a teammate. I'm not going to say a partner, but a teammate that y'all are moving towards the same goal. Look, it happens everywhere. Success leaves clues, right? In the Air Force, you got a wingman. In the Army, you got a Ranger buddy, right? Like there's a reason that you move in teams. All right. And I'm telling you right now, you picked the right one. You picked the good one. Grover, LeBay just told me you were watching the live yesterday when I got pulled off, because I had to go do some work. She was like, hey, you ready to be a house husband? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
Man, I was gonna clown so much when you said a house husband. I was gonna buy you, like, in Mexico they have those aprons that they wear when they cook. I was gonna get you an apron, dog. I was gonna have fun with you. I was gonna have
no drillers all around the house. Yeah, if she retires me, I'm gonna wear it proudly.
But no, I think people just don't. You're missing out on life if you listen. Men are used to doing it by yourself.
Right.
But sometimes when you're doing it with somebody, bro, and I know there's some horror stories out there. Like I see homeboy, he's like, man, listen, I was married for 19 years. I can't take that loss again. And that's why I had to lead up first before I talked about this, to talk about protecting yourself, because I believe that every man should be protected. You protect yourself at all times. I boxed. It's your responsibility to keep your hands up. It's your responsibility. Even when you break clean, you still know that person might swing late. You keep your hands in the right place.
100%.
But like, I know you're the right person to talk about this. And I'm going to tell you something about Guap that I noticed. You'll never hear a bad word about his wife from his mouth.
No.
You handle your problems in the house. And that way, when your problems are done, you can now go out in public and have a united front.
Yeah, exactly. And look, marriage isn't for everybody and everything. The point that I want to make is stop trying to move through life as a solo operator. The worst campaign ever in the United States military was that Army of One BS. That does not work. It does not exist. It is a crazy concept, and it's not real. You cannot move through life. We are not meant to be alone. And that's why you're supposed to fellowship with your brothers and stuff like that. That's why passport bros get along so well. Now you can't hang out with everybody, trust me. But you're able to bond over a common interest or a common movement. And the highest level of that, in my opinion, is being in a marriage and then having kids and trying to raise those kids together. That's my humble opinion. I'm perfectly fine being wrong with that. And it's a real commitment, and it's a sacrifice, and takes a lot of cooperation. But the rewards you get from moving in tandem with somebody are absolutely going to trump where you can get. Kevin Samuels used to talk about this all the time. Right. He said there's a ceiling in corporate America for unmarried men. He used to talk about it all the time. I'm not making this up.
No, there is. There absolutely is.
So it may not be for you. There are women all over the world. Doesn't have to be an American woman. There are good women still here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Look what happened to the CEO astronomer. Astronomer CEO that got caught at the Coldplay concert. Yeah.
I heard about that.
His boo is HR rep.
His boo is HR rep.
And so he got
that whole work wife phenomenon.
Yeah,
that Joan is.
You don't need to. Nah, you gotta be very professional. I wanted to talk to you about networking. And sure. So everybody I bring up, I'm talking about something that their specialty in. I talked to AV about just RICO and like her trial footage. I talked to the lead, of course, about prenups. And I think that you have the most impressive network of anyone I've ever seen. My case in point. Now, listen, I got a pretty damn good network too. Now, I'm going to tell you how I built my network, and I just want you to just kind of tell me how you built yours, right? So my network, I'm a martial arts instructor, and I realized that everybody either puts their kids in martial arts at one point or they do martial arts. So when you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as I was doing for years until I got sick, is you're rolling and you're doing jiu-jitsu with doctors, lawyers, policemen, which I really didn't even know policemen until I started doing that, to be honest, besides the two in my family. DA investigators, feds. We had feds. We had all types of folks that we'd roll with, and you really start learning, like computer system analysts, security network analysts. You meet all these people, and it doesn't make a difference what you do because you have a brotherhood and you have something in common. And so that's how I kind of started building my network out. And I started doing it because, like I was teaching the executive vice president for Safeway kids karate years ago. And that's how I got my job at Safeway. And she was just like, you have a lot of leadership. You should be a manager. And I'm like, who are you, lady? I was just, your pants were tight. I was staring at you. I didn't know who you were. I was a kid, right? So how did you do this? Because like, I swear I call you, I'm like, man, I want to do this. Like, oh, we'll talk to this person. It's been like 3 times you've told me to talk to someone, 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And one time really saved my butt because I wouldn't have been able to do what I did in Brazil if it wasn't from understanding. Hanada's like a tour guide. I didn't even know she was like a tour guide. Yeah. Yeah. And she knows her way around. I mean, she's Brazilian and she's a carioca, so she knows Rio de Janeiro very well. I give that all to Danya Guapa, my mother. So she taught me a couple of things when I was young, right? Always be a good friend. And always be fair. So I've always had a reputation of being a fair individual. Your reputation precedes you. If you read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, one of the first things that it talks about is the value of your reputation. You have to protect it at all costs, right? So if you have a reputation of being a dirtbag or shiesty or backstabbing or something like that, that's going to be an issue. Also in the 48 Laws of Power talks about never be afraid to reinvent yourself. So if you do have a bad reputation, do what it takes to fix your reputation. That's number 1. Number 2, I've been blessed to be in a lot of rooms that and around a lot of folks and a lot of groups that just were forward moving people. So when I was in the Air Force, I was at the Air Force Academy and I was class president.
I used to have lunch with the commandant of cadets once a week. He would eat with all of the class presidents, freshman through senior. Okay. He was a brigadier general, 1-star general, Mark A. Welsh III. Any of you that have been in the Air Force know that he went on to be the chief of staff of the Air Force. And I used to have lunch with him when I was like 21, 22.
Wow.
So always try to make new friends, always have a good reputation. The other thing I would say, about 10 years ago, I got into a business mentoring and training program, and I learned a lot more. And the best philosophy I can give you, make it your life's mission to make people, like anybody you interact with, leave them a little bit better off than you found them. You know, so you want any interaction you have with people to make them say, man, it was cool meeting El Guapo. You know what I'm saying? I would like to exchange information with them. I was in the Philippines last year, and I was there to shoot some content for a brand deal that I had done, but I spent a couple of days in Manila. So the brand deal had flown me out and everything. And then I was going to Dumaguete, where Filipina P is, and a lot of the big content creators, right? Well, I'm in Manila. I'm staying at the Holiday Inn, which is actually really nice. It's on top of the Glorietta Mall. And I'm just having a drink, and I spark up a conversation with a gentleman there, Caucasian gentleman, and we're sipping some bourbon and all that stuff. We're talking. He's like, man, they got a bar up on the top floor by the pool and everything. And he said they got a special rum up there. We got to go try it. I said, I went up there. Come to find out, I told him I was going to be playing some golf when I got to Thailand. He was like, really? He said, I do a little work in golf. This guy's name was Ted Dye. If you all are golfers, you'll know that the Dye family are some of the biggest golf course designers on earth. And he was like, man, here's my number, keep in touch and stuff like that. So it's just little things like that. But if you can leave people better off than you found them, that's great. And learn to just have conversations with people. This is where AI will never beat us. Those true interpersonal interactions that you can have with folks, right? So be able to talk to folks on the whim. Before you can take anybody to higher ground, find common ground, find something to compliment them on. It doesn't have to be like a attraction sexual thing, but hey man, dude, where'd you get that watch? I've been looking for something like that, you know. Can you point me in the right direction? Blah, blah, blah. I got one of these. And you never know. But the way that you do that is you got to do some studying. All right. So if you really want to get good at it, read books. There's a book I have called Wired That Way, which is really, really good, which talks about the 4 main personality types, you know. And that type of stuff helps, man. It helps a lot. So, but the network, once you build it, oh my gosh. And always be, whatever you need from a person, be willing to give it to them first.
I think that's the important part. That's the important part because, you know, I'm a big Ray Daniels fan, and Ray Daniels, because I came from music, and Ray Daniels, I'm actually using a lot of his stuff in the Mastermind. I'm clipping a lot of stuff, and he said you can't be great without being grateful. And like that's kind of the thing. Like you can't expect anyone to help you if you're not going to be helpful,
right?
And so like I always like. One of the things that I kind of got from my first mentor in life was a Palestinian guy. He's very old, and he was actually born in Old Jerusalem. He's a Palestinian man, and he told me about finances, like really educated me about finances. But I'm gonna tell you something he told me, and he said, number one, and I'm just use language because you know, said don't be a dick. Manners takes you very far in life. Being mannerable takes you very far. He said every culture in this country respects manners. Every culture in this country respects being a gentleman. He said there's nothing wrong with it. And he said, every time you make $1, you should make $1 with your friends.
Like that.
And if you show your friends how to make $1, you will always be useful to your friend group, and they will always be useful to you. Because
Kevin talked about that.
When they go to make $1, they're going to look for, people like to make money with their friends, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
And so like when I was like one of the things, like we were talking about something that we're gonna make this happen next year, by the way.
Okay.
And you know, because one thing you can ask Scott, I'm a firm believer that if I want to do something, I will damn well do it.
Right.
Like Scott, like I'm driven to do stuff because I believe that you only have one life to live, and that if you don't live your life to the fullest when you're old and you're on your bed and you have all these regrets, you only have yourself to blame the regrets for not doing something. Man, my guy. So I know you got Guapito. I know you got a whole family, a whole life structure. I know you have a full-time plus job. You're probably one of the only folks who are working. Like I was working a good 65 hours a week at times, and I think you probably work more than me, man.
Yeah, so man. You saw what happened last night. So I was on the live for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I said, I had to get off. Your ass left.
Dude, I worked until like 4:30 this morning.
Jesus Christ.
And then went to grab the couch, laid down for about 2.5 hours, and was up at 7 back at work again. So yeah, man. But those days are coming to an end. My wife saved me. Thank you, Theo. Thank you for training my wife, bro. So I can get out, bro. Talk about prenup. I might have to get a pro snup. She might try to act brand new. All this money she's about to make.
She's gonna make that money. She gonna be like, listen. She gonna be demanding stuff. She like, listen, only assless chaps around the house.
Look, I'm gonna tell her. Look, I want half. We gonna do a pro snup, baby.
So what's that? Medium. I want to welcome to the stream my man from Houston, the Medium Man.
What's good, Medium Man? Good to see you, brother.
So one thing I wanted to do with the stream is the creators that I really, really vibe with and respect, that I talk to. I was going to invite MTR, but I think he's too busy because I talk to MTR occasionally. But, you know, the folks who I had up today are people who I really talk to. I had reached out to Medium Man and just tell a quick story of Guapo, and I'll let you know, I'm not going to keep you too late because I know you might get a call right now, and I know you're 3 hours ahead of me. But I had reached out to Medium Man. I think he had 10,000 subs, and I think we had like barely 1,000. And then he just took off. He was just out of here, right? He started doing these streams every day, and we had a good conversation. And then I got a new phone. And I think I sent him an email or something, tried to contact him again. And we just talked a few weeks ago. And this is somebody who I've always watched his streams. I use his content as much as I can. But this man, I don't know how he does it. This man has every flipping statistic in the world. Bro, every time somebody say some bull junk, I go right to Medium Man's page. I say, oh, you think that? Huh? Oh, you think black people don't make no money? Medium Man.
Facts. Medium Man, brother, it is good to see you, man. Listen,
What's going on?
My next live stream, I'll at you in the live stream. I'm going to be using a little bit of your content, but here's what I'll say, man. And we just talk about the power of the network and everything like that. You are known as the statistician.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the actual true litmus test of what is real and what is not in our space. And I appreciate it a lot, man, because they be coming at us. Look, I have a little saved folder on YouTube. Like if they ever, because I'm getting old, my mind is going a little bit. I'm losing a step mentally, but I'm like, man, I know I can pull that up. Medium Man was talking about that. Let me pull these stats up, bro. Yeah. So, because people try to jump down your throat and everything, but man, keep doing your thing, bro. I love what you did with the studio. I love the maps. I like the old pictures you had too. It was too much for YouTube.
Yeah, no, and shout out to y'all, man. Before we get into that, man, I know we're gonna get into it with THPP, but yeah, El Guapo, how I feel about your content, man. I enjoyed all y'all brothers up there, man. But this was my wife's idea. She every year I try and do something different with the studio. So we were looking on Amazon and we found that, and it changes color. So she was like, yeah, let's go ahead and run with that. So I was like, cool. So
and congratulations on that, man.
Yeah,
by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, congratulations.
We owe you a gift. Me and Grover and Scotty.
No. I heard everybody talking about marriage before I came up here. You know, and we're going on 3 years now, but this was a whole plan in place. I had to finish my military career.
Yes,
and,
sir.
You know how you talk about being purpose driven and, you know, making good on your promises. I made good on some promises, and I kept my timelines, and we were able to go ahead and do and walk down that aisle. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. I don't know. I know you kept a timeline on them curls. Jesus Christ. Boy, if you don't put them arms away, man, I work out 4 times a week. I feel, bro, this is the first time I feel small.
No, but hey, you have to give the credit to my chat. We started a fitness challenge in February, so they kind of kept me honest throughout the whole period. So I taught them how to lose weight, and keep the weight off in a slower process instead of trying to do that old quick dieting plan or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, so we a lot of folks lost a lot of weight. I was able to get back to it. Even thinking about joining some more, bodybuilding shows like I used to do in the past, just because I just turned 46 years old. So yeah, so I may get back on that stage here very shortly. So we'll see.
Yeah, as the old man of the group, about to be 52 this year, I would just say that black don't crack, because I know I look good, and you brothers holding up very well.
Man, we trying, man.
We try.
With the Beijing.
I think it's something in the Air Force water. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I mean, they keep us young, so.
Yeah. Speaking of Air Force Base, I spent a lot of time when I was a kid on the Air Force Base at Clark. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time at Clark because my dad was over there in '73 because of the coup.
Yeah,
we talked
about the Philippines. Wow.
Yeah, we talked about that. My uncle was stationed there. He was he retired lieutenant colonel. So he was stationed over there. Actually, some of my cousins was actually born on Clark. So
So listen, I want to give my guy El Guapo. First of all, thank you, my brother. Thank you for being my brother. Absolutely,
man.
And I want to give you your shine and your words before I focus on my guy Medium, man. I want to thank everybody for dealing with our problems. We are running late, but everybody who's still rocking with us,
thank you very much.
I wanted to not only celebrate, but I wanted to deliver real content. So we went over tonight we've gone over RICO laws and how it can affect you. We've gone over prenuptial agreements because I do think that people should walk the aisle if they want to. We've gone over the network with El Guapo, and I'm going to give him a word, and then I'm going to talk about how this man gets all of these damn statistics. Because it just blows my mind how he got a statistic for everything. He's like, he know how many times the average man pee at night.
Damn right.
Right. But Guap, I want to give you some words out. I want to give you your due, and the screen is yours, sir.
I just want to give one more congratulations to you and Scotty, man. I am a true fan of the TIP Network. For those of you that do not know, THPP stands for the Happiness Podcast Project. And they started with the dream. I remember watching old stuff with you guys talking about MMA fights and everything. And to see the maturation and evolution of what you all have put together is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I couldn't be. It's like seeing my brothers, graduate or get their PhD or something like that. This is a huge accomplishment, and keep pushing. I see that what are you guys at now? Aren't you at like 111,000?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
man. Keep your foot on YouTube's neck, man. We don't give momentum back, bro.
Yes, sir.
So keep doing your thing. You are a force to be reckoned with. You all doing this full time, man. So I keep leading the way, blazing the trail, and me and Medium, man, we want to catch up, bro. We want to cross that finish line.
My goal is,
man. All right.
My goal is to go to each of yours 100,000 live stream celebration. Mm-hmm. And if I don't get invited to everybody, well, the league, we got to go to the million. But if I don't get invited, I'm gonna be salty. I'm gonna be in the chat trolling.
Yeah, you're gonna be the first one on there, man. All right. I might have to do mine with Starlink, man. We might be somewhere in the middle of the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
All right, brother.
Don't tell my wife.
Hey, I got to tell another thing is that El Guapo here got me on the Hinge dating app, and so that's how I met my girlfriend, soon to be fiance. So,
oh man, congrats.
So I blame him for a lot of things, but they're all in good things. So
yeah.
I'm the best worst influence you'll ever have, buddy. There you go.
And you've always had some great advice. Your live streams have always been killer. I think you have the best type of, no matter what the lead says, I think your OBS setup, how you execute it is bar none. Like no one can execute the way you do.
Man, Lee be hitting me up in the background. He'd be like, "Hey, Guap." He'd be like, "Hey, how do I do this on?" I said, "Bro, you can't do it on StreamYard, man. I've been trying to help you out." I'm just messing with you, Lee, but But I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna clear the path, media man. I'm gonna be watching from the background. Love you, bros. No Diddy, but double Diddy. Catch up with y'all.
All right, man. Medium man. All right, so now this is rarity because, and I got to give everybody their props, right? So this dude popped up a few years ago in my algorithm, and I looked at this dude and I said, "All right, let's do let me see what he got," because of course I have this thing that I don't want to compete with people, because when I compete, I'm trying to copy, but I try to find something that they do and find stuff that they don't do and do it better, right? So I was sitting here and I thought I was smart. And this man has stats on everything. So let me tell you, if you want to know what the real deal is, you go to Medium Man Stream. And also, you're fair. Are you fair? You're not just there to put your foot on a woman's neck. You got to get in the man's ass.
Pause.
Ever since Diddy came out, you got to have your pause.
I know you got the young dudes. They always get me. Hey, media man, you forgot to say pause.
Yeah, you got to pause that. And like for my generation, it's like pause. I ain't gonna pause nothing. When you try it, I'll punch you. But like honestly, sir, like the truth, and not only that, your presentation, how you handle your live streams, and how you do your content is absolutely, and these aren't just empty words, it's absolutely top notch. You are a top notch creator. Your chat is very dedicated. Matter of fact, every now and again, I'd be like, man, I want Quiet Storm to pop up on my content. Let me clip Medium Man. Quiet Storm might come by and say hi. Pooh Man, who we share some of the same people. Pooh Man popped on. And so I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And now my big question is for you is where did you get into just this research mind state that you have? Because it seems like you're proving your point, not through rhetoric or any rhetorical devices, but just through straight stats, and then you let it sit there. So where did you get that idea from?
Oh, well, I mean, before that, I want to thank you and Scott for having me on the platform, man. And before we get into anything, congratulations to y'all, man. This is a huge milestone, especially for us in these spaces to see one of us hit 100,000 subscribers. Man, I'm so proud of you guys. I think I told you a long time ago that the production and the way that you guys put out your videos, man, I was highly impressed. And that's what drew me into your content. So, man, keep rocking and rolling. 111,000 subscribers. That's absolutely amazing, especially from when you told me that you guys hit 100,000. I was like, man, so now just to see it grow. I mean, I wish you guys nothing but the best, moving forward. God bless. Scott, you as well. We haven't spoke offline, but, any friend of Grover's is a friend of mine. So you guys, again, God bless you and yours. And thank you for having me up here. So
you as well.
I just wanted to get that out there. So
thank you, man.
Thank you for the blessings and blessings back on to you.
No problem, man. So in regards to the statistics, my main focus for my channel, I was trying to find a lane, because I spent a lot of time prior to retiring from the military, from the world's greatest Air Force in 2019. I would watch a lot of content from like 2018 until I retired. And I used to watch some of Kevin Samuel's live streams. And I would see him, he would mention certain statistics, and then I would look in the chat and people would be like, well, where did he get that from? What is he citing? And I had to make sure that when I got into these spaces, I could use my educational background. If you guys don't know, I've been working for the federal government after I retired from the military for almost 5 years now. I'm a senior public health analysis. I have a master's degree in public health with the focus on biostatistics and also global health. Okay. I also have a bachelor's degree in nutrition. I have 2 associate's degrees, one in public health technology and the other one in criminal justice. So this type of education is something that a lot of the Black community is not used to seeing. So when I do my live streams, I like to make sure that I cite everything. I put everything in APA chronological order, and you know where to find and know how to interpret the statistics instead of just me reading them to you. And even then, you know, my first goal was to get the Black community to understand that some of the things that you thought about Black men weren't true. I quickly learned that a lot of people are so set in their ways and they just want to keep those ideologies close to them because it makes them look less than. And when I talking about them, mainly Black women, but there is a lot of Black men that feel the same way. So I started to focus my content on the guys that needed that boost to understand that you guys are doing very well out here, and you need to understand where Black men stand in the Black community. If it wasn't for Black men, you know, and the efforts that we're doing in our own community, the Black community would be dying right now. And I think I've proven that with all the statistics that I've shown Black men with the, you know, income, with the businesses, with the children out of wedlock, all these types of things definitely encourage a lot of folks to, you know, stick their chest out a little bit, be like, man, all we knew is that, you know, we thought 50% of Black men was in prison, you know, and I'm giving them the statistics. I'm like, man, it's literally only 2 million people. You know, it's a lot compared to other countries. But when you look at it, extrapolate that out to 340 million people in the United States, 2 million people incarcerated. I mean, come on now, you know, you got to start doing the math. So I've done a couple of, you know, kind of, you know, classroom work with the chat. They've learned how to interpret statistics. We focus on, you know, how to convey them to the public so they can understand it. And then it all boils down to, if you want to learn and know the truth and you want to accept that, cool. If not, we use the rule of 10 over there. 3 people for, 3 people against, 4 people undecided. My goal is to talk to the people who are for, and the 4 people who are undecided. Hopefully I can get the majority of them on the people who are for. The people who are against, don't talk to them. That's why you see in my chat, especially when we do the more serious live streams, I hold Black men to a high standard. And sometimes that comes with me blocking a lot of dudes because they want to play games. And I understand you're used to that on certain channels, but not on my channel when we're having a serious conversation. Now, what I did to combat that and help people out and get their rocks off, we start doing the little pop the balloon reviews. They tend to enjoy when I do that. So they can kind of let their hair down, so to speak, and enjoy. But I do expect a lot from Black men because we are representations of the Black community and we have to protect our own black ethnic image. So I take that very personally.
Man, I think that's so important. You know, like I wasn't allowed to leave the house. Listen, I don't want to dox you, but you in the Houston area. I can say that. I think that's so my folks right down the road in the Waverly, in the bottom, right? And we didn't have a lot, but we were not allowed to go out looking foolish or acting foolish. We had to behave, and somebody put fire to you. And I think that is something that's missing. And that's why I really, when I curated this stream, I just want you to see, we have AV, we have a sister who's well-spoken, who understands, who has everything. I'm a gentleman, so ladies came up first, right? I was raised that way. We have the lead attorney who was on here. We have a guapo, I have 3 professional, well-to-do, educated men, Black men, because I think that is so important that we hold ourselves to that standard. We hold ourselves to just be respectful. Listen, nobody's going to be perfect. You could catch me doing some ain't shit stuff sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You catch me, you know, Lord knows I, you know, do stuff. I'm not the greatest person in the world. Scott's known me since, how old were you? Like 19 when you met me?
20.
20, right? And how old are you now? Like 78?
39.
39. That's over for 19 years, right? And so Scott has seen, I mean, me and Scott, we've been in Mongolia together. Scott has seen me be Grover. And
30s Grover.
Yeah, like 30s Grover is different from 40s Grover. Let me tell you something. we have to, as men, allow ourselves, as Black men, we have to allow ourselves to grow into maturity, as men in general, but Black men in particular, allow ourselves to grow into maturity, allow ourselves to forgive ourselves for mistakes we made, but also hold ourselves to understanding that just because we made a mistake, we do not have the right to just repeat the same mistake over and over again. And that's why I'm very selective of like who I should associate myself with. You know, but I do believe in polite savages. So, you know, Poppy Blanco TV, my guy. I miss you. I ain't seen you for a while. Uncle Guns, my guy. I miss you. I haven't seen you for a while. I believe in people who know how to handle themselves. I don't believe in anybody rolling over, but we all have to have the ability to move forward, be better, be a polite savage. And I think that you really portray that, because I've seen you get on people's neck. I've seen you hold people to a high standard. Say, no, we don't do that here. But then give that information in a way that's educated, that's digestible. And I think that it's a shame. Like, to me, everybody who's not at 100,000 subs who came up on the stream tonight and should be at 100,000, the lead should be at 1 million.
Yeah.
That's just the way I really feel. Lead should be at 1 million. If you seen, Lead gave a sermon on the mound about prenups.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so good. It was so good. I was just like, wow. Yeah. And El Guapo talking about the network, just do it. First of all, El Guapo can just deliver a word, man. I don't ever want El Guapo. I'm so glad he wasn't young talking to any of my nieces with that voice. I would have had to kill that man. My nieces think
El Guapo, and shout out to Theo Coop. Man, I think I've told both of them. I'm like, man, the sounds like radio, you know, like old back in the day. You know, I was like, man, you guys, you were kind of built for this.
Yeah. But just the information that you deliver is amazing. And I'm going to hold you to this because I know I talked to you about it offline. But when I go to Houston, we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to do a food review. Yeah, I want your best steakhouse. I'll get permission to film it, and I want a food review of your best steakhouse when I go to Houston.
Oh yeah. And I kind of keep it under wraps. I'm definitely not going to share it here. I think some of the chat knows, you know, because every time I try and make sure. When I watch some of the food review, you know, Houston people in these, you know, spaces, they'll mention steakhouses, but they always forget the one that we go to. And I'm like, thank God. I don't want it all out there.
No.
We'll definitely have a good time out there. Man.
So just getting back into your channel, you're watching Kevin Samuels when you were getting out of your military career. And by the way, I got a lot of families in the military. Thank you for your service. People don't understand.
Oh, my pleasure.
People don't understand. I don't care what you think about the government. Freedom is not free.
It's not.
and it's secured. It's secured by people who mostly are from a very impoverished or tough economic background, who are willing to give a lot for the country. My father being a Vietnam vet, my uncles being a Vietnam vet, you know, my dad didn't tolerate none of that. Man, my dad couldn't stand the president, but I loved the country. He didn't tolerate none of this foolishness about talking down about the country. You could talk bad about the president, though, especially Reagan. He didn't care about Reagan at all. But you know, so you came to that. You do pop the balloon every now and again to spice it up. What's next? Do you have a next frontier, or something that you're going to be covering, something that you're going to be looking at that you want us to know about? Because I know it's late for you. I know it's late for you because you do not do live streams this late.
It's all good. I got a old man nap in a little earlier, so I think I'm gonna be all right. Still gonna be up early to hit that gym, but recently, especially for Men's Mental Health Month, which was in June, I've seen that there was an element in these spaces that was lacking. I seen people trying, I guess it would quote certain things and I'm like, hey man, I read that book and it says in this particular book that, exactly what you're saying. So I started doing the book reviews and getting some of my favorite, authors and different types of books that I've read that have helped me in the past. And I start to bring that to the live streams. So that's definitely going to continue. And I'm starting to take, requests. Somebody will say, hey man, you need to read this book or you need to read that book. And it gets me in, my routine of trying to read one book a month. So once I get done with the book, I'm going to bring that to the live stream and also use certain video clips to make it a little bit more entertaining. So they can see it in real time. And when we're introducing certain things, they can understand it. And I'll have my little stories that go with it as well. So that's been going over great. The chat seems to love it. It's a fun time, man. I love it so much. And I've seen my Amazon, associates little program. Every time I recommend a book, I'll get a chime and somebody picked up another book that we either reviewed or I recommended. So I see that a lot. I see that going forward. And then at the end of the year, going into New Year's, I'm actually going to be opening up my own nutritional counseling practice here. So me and my wife were working behind the scenes to get our pieces together so I could start, doing my, my thing at home as well. So sometimes, the chat like, man, we're media men. I was like, bro, I got a full-time job. I got to take care of things. So it's very tough, but I really wish, in doing, the nutritional counseling is definitely going to free up some time so I have more dedicated time to YouTube because I thoroughly enjoy what we do here. And it was a grind, for the most part, but I think I've gotten more comfortable and more joyous occasion to get on live streams and see some of the familiar faces, in the chat. So
first of all, I got to break this down. You mean to tell me you are getting people to read books?
Yes. Yep.
Well, you over here trying to be Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Man, you know how you said you got a book club reading books and bringing it to the internet.
Yep.
Boy.
I didn't know it was I didn't think it would be possible.
I never heard of some shit like this. Congrats, man. And this is great nutritional program. Like a lot of things, like if you look at the old streams, and we were gonna have an old stream that we're gonna put up. I was at my heaviest on one of the streams. I put one as heaviest and I put Big Backy in as a title. I was 445 pounds. That was my heaviest. That was 445. And Scott didn't tell me I was 445. He just let me keep eating fried chicken. And that's why.
Yeah, you were cooking it.
Yeah, dude, this is how bad it was. I cook like at midnight. I'd fry a bunch of fried chicken. We eat fried chicken and beer at midnight.
Woo!
Because there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Miller Lite.
Yeah. It was Miller Ultralight because I was trying to take it easy because it was Miller Ultralight, but
that makes it okay then.
And by the way, I only deep fried chicken thighs. It's not like so like I was a big
waffles.
And we did have waffles. Jesus Christ, we did have waffles, huh?
Man.
And so we used to eat a bunch of greasy food and get drunk and think that I was going to be healthy. But recently, I'm happy to say that I've, in the last 2 years, I've lost over 140 pounds. So,
man, yeah, I think we talked about that. And again, congrats on that. Yeah, man.
And I'm working out 4 times a week. Which is funny, I always worked out, but now the working out just works. I'm eating right, but I think that having a nutritional program is something that's missing in our community and in our space and in general. I think that people. It's very easy it's easy. What does every man say? Get out there and make your money.
Yeah.
Our first conversation we had, we were talking about a dude who I don't want to say his name, but he was a really big dude. He talking about he can be a passport bro. He's making like $150,000 a year. Yeah. And you said, yeah, but he need to get his body together. And like, I agree. We agree, right? You do. But the bottom line is that it's harder to do that than to make money.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's harder to do that because for me to make money, I just got to be smarter than a lot of people, and I am. I hate to sound cocky, but I can find something I'm smarter than you at. Not everything, but I'm gonna find something, and I can monetize it. But to lose weight, I got to take full accountability, 360 degrees, shut my big ass up, and leave the door, take a walk, take a jog, stop eating, stop picking up stuff. So having a nutritional program, some help with that, man, that's amazing, brother.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I went on my own journey as well. Like I even made fun of it. I made a video showing myself, side by side because, moved to Houston, man, we got so many great places to eat here. My wife, she's Jamaican. I'm eating chicken curry, every day, I'm like, man, this is amazing, but I'm trying to justify it. I'm like, well, it's only chicken and rice. And I'm still going to the gym every 4 to 5 days a week. But there was a layer of fat that was building up. So I have like that video out there where I got my face and it's like puffed up. And I'm like, man, I told the chat, I was like, why y'all didn't tell me that I was turning into a big bag? It's your fault. Kind of joking around. So that's how we got into the, the fitness journey. And, I think that it's people listen to the message more if you are a product of what you're trying to preach. So when I did the fitness challenge, I wanted to make sure that I was doing it as well. And then also moving into the savings challenges, we started a high yield savings account amongst about 20 different people. Right? Yeah.
I was watching something like that, and like you, like, bro, you're really out here, and this is why I wanted to make sure I had you on, because I think that we're not a monolith, and we're such a dynamic. Men's content is dynamic. It's just dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, like we could talk about 20, 30 different things. I know AV is not men's content, but hey, listen, AV is my little sister. She's going to come on and celebrate with us. And she's actually an expert. She's an expert merchandising building stuff. She's super smart at it. That was her life before. But men's content is dynamic. And I'm so sick and tired of people telling us that everybody I talk to tonight can get women, have women married or something like that. Everybody I talk to tonight is not misogynistic pig. Ain't nobody talking, oh, just slap her, backhand her. Nobody's saying that. Nobody thinks that like, oh, men are better than women or this and that. We are different. We are dynamic beings. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. My woman makes me better. She is my weakness and I am her strength. We are the yin and the yang. My woman makes me better. Okay.
I got a story about that goes against the grain in these spaces so much. And I think a lot of people were shocked on my channel. I told them I know how to save money, but my wife knows how to grow money because she went to school for economics and then she went back to school for a finance degree. Right. So she's been working at her bank for, I want to say it's going on 18 years now, since before she started college, and that just grew into other positions until I transitioned her out of working full-time, and now she does part-time remote work. But when I told them, I was like, hey man, I can take care of the regular stuff, the bills, none, that's cool. But when my wife showed me that she was an asset in regards to making my money grow, the money that I was saving, that hits different.
Come on.
So
now.
when you talk about, getting married and the benefits of it, like I think it was the lead attorney that was saying, yeah, if it's a good marriage, then yeah, it'll be the best decision, of your life. And I'm starting to slowly, learn that as I go, even though I'm new into the game. I knew what I wanted and I wasn't going to falter or, what they call in these spaces settle in regards to, well, yeah, I knew I wanted an educated woman. I knew I wanted a beautiful woman. And I was going to make sure that I got that because I was used to the same thing when I was on the dating market. So I was like, with woman that I'm going to marry, she's going to have everything what I want. So even me saying that she's an educated woman, that goes against the grain, so to speak, in these spaces as well. But I'm okay with that because I'm an assured man. I know what I bring to the table, so to speak. So I wasn't worried about the backlash in regards to her being a masculine woman because she wasn't raised like that. She grew up in a stable household. It's funny. I was the person that they probably had to worry about because my family wasn't as stable as theirs. And I remember the first time that I had Thanksgiving with her family, the table was all laid out. And the first thing that I did, I called my best, I took a picture and I showed my best friends. I was like, look at this spread, and I was just so amazed that they had.
I thought only white people did this.
It was crazy, and we used to do that when I was younger. But just to see it as an older man, and she taking me with her, to her family's house, it was just such a great thing. And I had to really not necessarily learn how to fit in, but good thing that I was raised right in regards to manners, and then joining the military and having great mentors, going to therapy, definitely helped me out so much to where I was able to take on a woman who basically had everything that she needed, so I had to make sure that I was, I had everything in order, and she wasn't even really worried about that. It was just me making sure that I would be able to take care of her because she was already taking care of me.
That's absolutely dope. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of times when people I think the misnomer is about the educated women is like, we don't care about your job and your education if it's not going to be of utility and service to our lives. So if you have a master's degree, you make $200,000 a year, but you're only making that $200,000 a year, so you can save it and not and not share it with the household income, then it doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah.
But if we're all working together to do something, your education is an asset. And it doesn't just necessarily have to be a great education. It could be something that you could do that I don't know how to do, or it could just be like, you know how to save and I don't know how to save. You know how to grow and I don't know how to grow. You know how to have self-control and I don't have that self-control. You know, like I tell you a great story. It's like when I first met my lady and we were getting together, I wanted to buy a Tesla. Boy, I was going to buy me a Tesla Plaid. That's what I was going to have. And I was talking to her and she was like, she just made it look like, okay, well, you don't really need that, right? And it was just that balance. And I was like, oh, okay. And so, you know, I got a car that was less expensive, right? Well, what happens? We go into COVID. We go deep into COVID. And I have a very good job working for a medical company during that, so I was busy. But, you know, the world is crazy, right? The world is crazy at the time. And I was thinking like, man, I'm stable, but I don't know how long I'm going to be stable. But I'm really happy I don't have a $1,300 a month car payment because I wanted to go fast and zoom, right? Because it doesn't make sense to me. And it's funny because right now I have like an SUV. I wouldn't have it now, right? So I just think that the right woman is crucial, and I think that people forget that that we're meant to be together,
right?
And we pick the right person. Don't let them destroy you. Protect yourself. But I've seen how it is when you're sick and by yourself, because I can say it now because my NDA is up. I was the Northern California home equipment manager for the largest hospice company in the United States. I got to see people on their last leg dying. And guess what the saddest thing is? When you go into a house and it's a man or a woman and they're there all by themselves. And the only people who come see them are the nurses that are getting paid by Medicare. And that nurse has 42 stops that day. This person used to jump out of her bed and say that the bed was broken that we supplied so I can come visit her. And I would come visit this lady, and this lady she was rich. She was a liquor distributor her whole life. She still got money from it. She had everything she wanted. She wasn't on Medi-Cal. She wasn't one of those people, but she was in this big house by herself, and she wanted me to come visit her because nobody would come visit her. And I just remember on my birthday that year, I got a case of Blue Label delivered to my house. And I was like, well, I didn't order no Blue. You know how expensive Blue Label, $300, $400 a bottle. I got 12 of them. And I was like, I didn't order this. I think it's a setup, right? Like, because, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I've been there turned into like 1846 Jim Crow. I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
They're going to come get me. And then she called my company, said it was an emergency. They called me, and she said, hey, I got this for you because you're the only one who's seen me this year. I don't love her. I'm just a dude who's doing my job. You need people. So I just always say, don't be so hard thinking that you can't. And that's why I'm all for the brothers. Hey, if you're going to go to a different country and find that, find it in a different country. If you find it in backwater Mississippi, find it in Mississippi, Midwest, find it. But you got to find it. You gotta find it.
It's and that goes back to, you know, me talking about the rule of 10. I don't push my ideas of marriage on men because Lord knows I know what the hell is going on these dating markets, and I'm pretty sure you all do as well. But what I will say in regards to that is like, hey man, I just don't want men to lie to themselves. If you really want companionship, you really want to get married, do not come on social media acting like you don't want that, and you lean into these conversations by saying all women are trash and I don't want no woman. I'm just going, you know, be by myself and I'm removing myself from the dating market. If that's true and you can look yourself in the mirror and be content with that, cool. I'm not going to sit there and browbeat you over your decision. However, if you do want something, but you just need to change certain things about yourself, you got to start doing the inner work first. So that's where, you know, I won't say most of my conflict with the guys come from, but I would say at least a good 40% comes from me telling them that, hey, man, I know what you want, but you got to put in the work as well, because you know that you're going to have to take care of a woman. And I keep stressing that when you get married, you take care of this person for the rest of your life. Okay, that's your job. And I got a video coming out about this as well. But it's just being true to yourself. And I see that a lot with women as well. You know, saying that, hey, I'm single, I'm cool, I'm okay with, you know, I guess, you know, Kevin Samuels dying alone. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, you're the only one that got to, you know, live with that decision. But you get on social media and you're talking a mess about the men that you say that you don't want. That makes no sense to me. So
I don't know why they say Kevin Samuels died alone when he was actually with somebody when he died.
It's a lot. I mean, I have so much to say that I have, you know, a lot of conversations offline because, you know, sometimes it's very, one of the toughest things that I had to deal with being a content creator was to see women in our community celebrate Kevin Samuels' death. That really kind of, I think that was a turning point in the way that I approached social media and doing content, because I was like, bro, I had never experienced something like that because I was kind of somewhat out of the world for 20 years. And then I get into these spaces, I'm seeing so much hatred and I'm like, man, I can't believe this. I was like, this is crazy. But it did a lot, you know, to how I approached it. And that's why I started telling the guys, I'm going to just start focusing on giving y'all the information because I know a good percentage of the Black community is not ready to hear the truth, which is why you see a lot of people, they'll get my content. They won't say anything about the statistics. They'll just talk mess about it. Or they'll say something about me personally. And I'm like, well, if you just listen, and of course, I don't disrespect folks on my channel. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. You are so much better than me. But bro, I literally sometimes I'd be about to get down and I literally go, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna flame this person up. And Scott be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I'll pop into your stream and I'll be like, oh man, maybe I got to go back to therapy. This brother over here.
I know what people, you know, be going through, but when I try and approach my videos, even with the women who may be, you know, less than a looker, let's just say that much. I try and be respectful. And it was funny. And Scott, you may not know this. I get a lot of pushback for being too nice. You know, the guys say, like,
I
man,
understand.
He should have said this or he should have said that. I'm like, bro, I got a daughter. I got a wife. I can't be having this foolery out there, me calling some woman out her name like that. But I will make jokes here and there. And I thank the chat for even, you know, showing the interest of me doing the Pop the Balloon reviews, because they get to see a little bit of my personality when we do those reviews. And I enjoy it so much. I have so much fun. And even that, before you guys, even that, I get so many comments saying, man, you laugh too much. You having too much fun. I can't watch the video. You making it unwatchable. I'm like, bro, I don't get to do this. You know what I'm saying? It literally takes about 2-3 days to get all these references and statistics together. And now I get a chance to unwind. Now I'm laughing too much. Like, what y'all want?
I want to tell you something that I think is really going to make your day. So I have a friend of mine. I've known her for about 25 years now. She's actually a music executive, or she was a music executive, and she was working with Universal Canada all over the place.
Ray.
She's actually one of our original members, Ray. El
Guapo was hauling that.
Yeah, El Guapo was like, Rashawn, you have a smile. Go on and be a member of my channel.
But he's just kidding. He was just messing.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this. So I was telling her, she was saying some things, and it was just the same lame statistics. And I was like, no, you're actually inaccurate about this. And I said, listen, I said, black men, we were actually we actually were number 3 in earning. Black women had fell to number 5, and we did that. And I said, and she said, what do you mean? Because I didn't see that. I said, no, because the statistics you have are from 2012. These are 2023 statistics that are updated. And she says, well, how do you know 2023 statistics? And then I said, well, listen, my friend, Medium Man. I said, he's a brother he's out of Houston. I said, I'm gonna send you his channel, and I'm gonna take time, and I'm gonna do it this weekend, because I was just talking to her a few days ago. I'm gonna do it this weekend, and I'm gonna clip up I got some of the clips I use. I use them. I have a file that says Medium Man, and every time I need a clip for that, I pull it out and say, oh, let me put this right in here. I got a file with Lead Attorney. I got a file with Guapo. You know, I got you got files. You're a content creator. Scott has like 2,000 of them. I just got a few. And I'm gonna send. I'm sending it to her. So And she said, and I said, and he lets you know, and he says, like the thing about the unaliving every 6 seconds and how you broke it down to like, no, for the FBI statistics, a woman is unalived evidence, but it's not just black men who are doing it, but it's just, and this is horrible anyway. And the one time, if there's one, that's too many. And the way you said that, I just want you to know that, like, you're making a difference. And I think that, like, listen, there's YouTube and there's MeTube. I tell people all the time. Sometimes you do YouTube, sometimes I do a video just for me, and I tell Scott, video going to do like 10,000 views. Nobody's going to like it, but I'm telling the truth. I feel good. And sometimes we do a video, it's sensational, and it does 100. It does 1.4 million views, and it's and it's about BET screwing over like the black community, and everybody agrees with that, right? But unfortunately, the stuff that's intelligent, the stuff that's fact-based just doesn't do as well. And you have to have a balance. And one of the things, and I know people, maybe you hear it, I hear it, well, you're just doing this for the views. And it's like, well, I want you to understand something. If you don't view it, you can't get the information.
Right.
Yes, I'm doing it for the views. It's on YouTube, and it's public. If I wouldn't wanted to do it for out the views, I would just do a private video and I just send it to a few people and I say, hey, look what I've done. But no, I'm doing something publicly and I want people to do it. And yes, people fall for the propaganda, they fall for the marketing. And unfortunately, when it comes to black men, and the reason why THPP Network, listen, and I get a bunch of shit because Scott's obviously not black, right? And Scott's obviously not black, but it's kind of weird. And neither is Jay Worldwide. I'm saying, they're like, the only thing this person knows is a whole bunch of Asians. That's all he knows. I live in the Bay Area. Jesus Christ. But I'll say this. I want to say two things. Especially us, we get a bad rap about some stuff. Some of the stuff is earned. I'm very critical about us doing bad stuff, but I also want to show that it's just not all bad. Okay, and we are good. There are men taking care of their family, right? And also, it's a misnomer that in order to say anything and to be good and want to do good for your community, for the historically black community in America, the FBA, the ADA, whatever you want to call it, I just call it black. I'm old school. I just say black folk.
Yeah, my chat had to teach me about all this stuff. So
yeah, I just say that. And I know there's cultural differences. Listen, your wife's Jamaican. There's a cultural difference between a Jamaican and somebody who's from Tennessee. There's a cultural difference from a black man from Arkansas and a black man from Houston. There's a cultural difference from a black man on the West Coast. So there's cultural differences, right? But it's a misnomer that I have to be sitting here surrounded by nothing but black people to understand what it is to be black. I probably understand more than you do because I've always lived in a city where it's 1 or 2% black. And I'm undeniably black, and I'm proud to be black. I walk around with my hat to the side and I walk with a limp. I talk shit and I spit, and I'm proud to be me. And I've never said I'm anything else. And so I understand what it is. And it doesn't mean that I can't be involved, love somebody else. But it means that never will I ever turn my back on being the man that I was raised to be. My dad was born in Abilene, Texas. My mama's folks is from Shreveport, Louisiana. My dad was born in 1944 in Abilene. It don't get blacker than that, my friend. So I appreciate you, and I wanted to have you up here right now because I appreciate the way you approach things, the way you put facts down, and the way you handle yourself as a black man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's hard to turn your back on the black community. Lord knows there's been times where I've been tested doing this type of content, but I will say that being a YouTuber and focusing on the black community has definitely brought me closer to the black community because it uncovered, the worst of the worst things that I didn't know about us and how we felt about certain things. But it also made me do more research. I could literally sit in my little hole for 9 hours a day and just focus on my work, but doing this and researching certain things, it definitely got me so much closer to the black community to where I see certain areas where we can change. And I think one of the most DMs that I got while I've been on my channel from Instagram was when I mentioned that I understand why black women think black men are less than. And the reason why I understand it is because they've been fed this lie for so many decades. So just think about that. If black women have been told that black men are all gay, they're all in prison, we make more money than them, we own more businesses than them, they have all these kids out of wedlock. If you thought that your male counterparts had all that working against them, why wouldn't you see them as less than? So now when you get me and I'm saying that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, they're like, no, we've been believing this for 5 decades. You can't tell me anything different. That's where the problem lies. So when people start talking about solutions, the solutions are already there. Black men have been steadily increasing from years past, from 2017 to 2021. And I hate to bring this up, but I will. The interracial marriage rates for black men was at 15%. And that was from 2017 to 2021. In 2022, it shot up to 21%. 21%. 1 out of 5 married black men are now married to a non-black woman. So while the black community is saying that black men don't want to get married, black men don't stay married, they're slowly increasing their interracial marriage numbers. And it's not just that. The income is increasing. Black men are on the cusp of out earning white women, which would be unheard of if that happens this year, right?
It would be unheard of since white women started working.
Man, it's and I keep trying to point these things out to the black community while you guys are sitting there believing these lies about black men. They're slowly, increasing in the areas that you think that they're doing less than in. And that's why when you said that, hey man, you're not trying to degrade anybody, absolutely not. But I will make you aware. So it won't be a surprise when you start to see the black men, they're on the projection for black men right now. They're going to eclipse 40% marriage rate by the end of 2027. Because when men make more money, they look to get married. Yeah. Okay. Black men are transitioning out of the education field and they're going into more skilled trades. So they're starting to make more money faster. So now our first marriage is at 33 years old. That's going to drop, I would say, about around 30, 31 years old because they're making more money at an earlier age. And you see it with all the statistics. And I try and point this out to the black community before they, start using shaming language of saying, well, y'all just hate your mama. No, when it gets to 25% marriage, interracially, then you start paying attention. But until then, we're going to still have these circular arguments, people trying to lie on black men. And that's where I got to come in and I got to do another video saying, nope, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So,
well, brother, nobody does it as well as you. And it's not accusatory and it's fact-based. And I think it's so needed in this space. I think that when when you have an opportunity to communicate with folks with that type of intellect, with that type of understanding, it only makes us all better. And like you said, people have been fed a line of BS for the last 50 years. And it's been crazy. They've been fed a line of BS since 1973 that we haven't won because because guess what? 1963, we were the most married.
I'm gonna let you finish, but 1973 is a very important year, and I'm gonna explain why. But go ahead, my bad.
So since 1973, we've been fed a line of BS that we don't want to take care of our kids. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. Man, my dad took care of me, my little brother. My dad took care of my sisters, who were not his children. My dad took care of all of my cousins. My dad would go over there if somebody was this is no lie, and this is why my dad was a motherfucker, and this is why people respected him. If his cousin, if somebody was hurt, somebody wasn't working, and or laid off, my dad go over there with a bag full of groceries. Because families stick together. And that's why to this day, my family is so tight. There's 350 of us in that area where you at our family reunion. And we're tight. And I go by my cousin's house. My cousin is like all of my cousins like my brothers. I was just talking to my uncle. I was talking to my uncle today. My uncle needed me to mail off a letter for him. I need you to do this for him. I said, okay, I'm taking care of it right now, Unc. I did it. I got the right address. Okay, let me know if you need something else. That's how our family is. That's how our family is. My woman's family is really like that. My woman's family is very nice, and they take care of each other. And so I just want to, I just think that it's a misnomer that like, I've never seen that out of men in my family who didn't take care of their kids.
Right.
I've never seen that. It don't even make sense. I never seen him not work hard. My dad was a carpenter. You think my dad wasn't working hard? He was a journeyman carpenter. He did it for 32 years. You think he wasn't working hard? So go on, and I know you got a point about that.
In regards to man, I'm glad you shared this story. Oh, go ahead.
One thing. I got a super chat for Highway 20 Skinny
for $5.
$5, and this is directly to the medium man. I'm trying to get low like medium man. Just a midget, just a crumb. But on a serious note, thank you, Fat Man, for taking up for us brothers. Exactly.
Oh, man,
and this is why I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do a live stream, that's why I reached out to you and I invited you on, because people need this information. People need this information, and I appreciate you for that. Now, please,
man, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Skinny, for putting that in there, man. Well, in regards to 1973, and I want people in the Black community to look this up. 1973 is actually when they started to track the fertility rates for, in the United States. So if you look on the CDC website and you look at the fertility reports, they will cite 1973. But during that same year, they also started to track Planned Parenthood. So that's why we know the statistics on how many child deletions that Black women have had since 1973 to present day, because they started them at the same time. So that's why I understand the statistics, at a, I guess a deeper level, because it kind of, I guess, marries two talking points that I heard being used in these spaces. So I always point to that. 1973 was a very, it was a key year for the Black community, because it's something that a lot of people didn't know, because, I'm pretty sure, Grover, the narrative was that, damn near 80-90% of Black men had children. But then when I tell you that 54% of Black men have never had children, they're like, what?
They're like, what do you mean? And then what they do is they assign the brothers who have the 16% who have 4 or 5 kids.
Right. And that's the problem, and that's why the lady, Dr. Bryant, she went viral with Cam Newton, because she called herself holding Cam Newton accountable, but women took it as holding Black men accountable, because they think we're all like Cam Newton. Yes. So they're like, yeah, you telling Cam Newton, that's telling all Black men to stop having all these kids. And I was just sitting there like, what? Like, where did I get this?
One thing I do know about stats, and this is something that I did study in 1973, they put out a statistic, because they did start. I knew they started tracking the fertility rates. They said that the Black community would be 35% of the United States population by 2025.
We should have been.
Now, there was 18 million baby deletions. Now, and I know, if you just want to be logical, for every person, every individual to replace their population, they need to have 2 kids, because it takes 2 kids to make a baby. Now, to grow your population, you need to have 3 kids. If you take 18 million and you times that by 2, that will put us at 35% in population.
Man, I did a live stream on this, and I explained it. You know what the pushback is on this argument? I brought this up.
Please, how can you push back math?
No, it's crazy. I've heard so many different things when you point out these types of, talking points, like, hey, we were supposed to be at around 33 to 35% of the population. Now we're not even the largest minority, because of the the child deletions. The women in the comments were like, well, the child is not a person. It's not a person. It's not
okay. Oh God. Okay. Well, I can't get into those type of, and you know what? If I went to your oven while you're baking a pie and I threw the pie on the floor, it's not a baked pie yet. But you was gonna have a pie,
man.
So, sir, I want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing this time with us. I want to apologize for running late. We had to stop a stream. We've never had difficulties like this before. We had to stop a stream and restart it. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who joined us. I I got a few things to say to everybody, but I just want to tell you something. It's a damn shame that you're not at 100,000.
Yeah.
Like I definitely feel this way about a Guapo. I feel this way about AV. AV's at 60 something, probably 70. AV will be there soon. I worked with AV. If there's anything I can do to help you in the background, if you want to talk about something, strategy or whatever, just let me know. If I can be useful, I want to be useful to my network, because you've definitely came up here tonight and you just dropped the holy grail of knowledge on us right now with just statistics and the way you did it. I even had some ladies in the chat. They were like, thank you so much for understanding and da-da-da-da. Man, I cannot talk like that. I come off talking. I sound like after a while, I start barking like a Rottweiler, man. I told you. And it's just my nature is to be forceful, and my nature is to punch through. And this is why being a leader of anything, you have to understand what you're not good at. And being a great manager and facilitator means you let people who are good at it do it.
Right. Delegation.
I think that what you did right now was really showcase what makes you and why you're going to win in this space and why you're needed in this space. And I'm going to tell you, just like I told the lead, because I know lead takes a break and he does this and that. Don't ever stop. If you stop, I'm going to be so pissed off.
Yeah. All right, man, I appreciate that. And honestly, I'm going to take some accountability for, I'll take accountability for not having enough time to put into my channel like I would love to. And I agree, I should have more subscribers, but sometimes, man, to I guess curate a space where I expect the best from Black men in the comment section, that comes with a lot of pushback. So some people got to go. So, and then when you get the women in there and they start acting crazy and they put these hyperbolic comments in there, and I know Black men are going to focus on that, and that messes with their mental health. So I'm like, hey, I'm trying to protect you guys from having to expend your energy on this type of foolery. So me removing all that mess out of the comment section, I definitely understand that I'm kind of doing it backwards, because any engagement is good engagement. But I'm willing to take that. You're doing it the right way. I'm definitely willing to take that hit in order to make sure that Black men specifically have a safe space to where they can talk and they don't have to worry about somebody coming in there calling them B-bags and, you know, dusty and stuff like that. So they don't see most of the comments that I see, because I put so many restrictions on there, and I tell them, you guys are lucky, because you would probably be hot every day based off of the stuff that some of these people say behind the scenes. You guys know how it go, you know, and you're like, man, what the hell was wrong with these folks? So so I'm trying to protect them as much as possible so they can have somewhat of a safe space to unwind and definitely hear from me, and I understand where they're coming from, and we can kind of unwind and relax. So
well, I appreciate you, sir.
Wait, hold on. I gotta say something. So you had this one particular live stream, or it may have been a video, and this is gonna be kind of off topic and out of pocket, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You had a live stream of different Black female archetypes, from the spiritual to the anime girl to the comic girl to the business one, and I got to find that live stream, because I was taking notes, because I was single. Sorry, baby. Sorry,
he
baby,
was single.
But I thought I was gonna have a high chance being with a sister. I'm just saying. I was just like, okay, this is the ones I got to avoid. Okay, I started taking down notes.
This is what happens when they come to the cookout too many times. They start.
Man, you know what, Scott? All that stuff I learned from social media. I was so out of touch in regards to like the archetypes, and then the dudes would get in the comments and they'd be like, "Oh, the septum ring theory," and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" Like, I'm like, "What is that?" You know, and I had to learn all this stuff on the fly, and I had to go into enemy territory and listen to these women. Oh, it was so much, man. But that was such a fun live stream just to see how people reacted. But I learned, just like you were learning, I learned as well. I was like, man, I didn't know about this stuff. So the guys knew. So
that's hilarious.
That was definitely fun.
That's hilarious. I was aged out of the game by the time that happened. I ain't messing with her. You know,
we got so much to learn, man. I'm telling you, Skinny know. Like I'll ask questions and they're like, man, man, this is what this means. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. So I try and keep my little note just to make sure. So
I got a nephew, and my nephew break it down for me. I'd be like, hey. Like I was like, I called him, I said, hey, bro, what's cooked? Because y'all eating raw food nowadays. What y'all doing? He's like, nah. He's like, come on, OG. And I was like, all right. You know, but man, I tell you, so yeah, man, this is a special night for us, and I appreciate it. It's like a lot of things went wrong, but a lot of things went right.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for being so patient with us. Thank you for taking that nap and you know, staying up late. It's man, it's 10:38. Jesus. I know you, boy, you gonna be dragging, but I want to thank you so much and thank you for being like the true definition of a polite savage.
Oh man, I definitely appreciate it. You guys, again, blessings to you. You're gonna see me a lot, man. I'm getting on my spiritual journey a little more. You see my little book,
Beautiful.
Everyday Guide to the Bible. So every time we go to the church, I'm trying to learn, because there was a time when I was in the military, I would go places and I'd be like, God is not here, just based off of the stuff that I saw. You know, it's like, so now
it was probably at 2 a.m. and had an ATM in the lobby.
Yeah, it was a lot. So get back on my spiritual journey, and you know, rest in peace to my mother. She would have been proud, because I probably think that this was something that she saw in me, because she used to throw anointing oil on my deployment bags every time I would come back home. Yeah, and my brother had to tell me, like, I was like, hey man, what is this grease on my uniforms? It's like, oh man, well, mom think that you out there doing crazy stuff, so she trying to bless you. I was like, oh, all right, I'll take it.
You was in the Air Force, right?
Yes, I'm still here.
You was doing crazy stuff, bro.
Oh, I've deployed 10 times, 3 combat deployments, Halo certified, airborne. I've done everything. I was SOFME. So SOFME is Special Operations Forces Medical Element. So everywhere the special operators go, we were right there. So I did that for the last last 7 years of my career, from working at the Pentagon and then going back to AFSOC to finish up my career. So
man, you shouldn't even hang around with me. You probably lose your security clearance, bro. I ain't no good.
The guy's greatest military therapy helps. I was in there for 5 years, so it definitely helped me out. So yeah, I say this all the time, and people don't understand that the Air Force saved me. If it wasn't for the Air Force, I probably would have been in California somewhere selling weed or something. I don't know.
You are from Cali, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You tell me this all the time. My memory is so bad from all the martial arts and getting thrown in my head. But you're not. Were you originally? Were you from about?
Sacramento, California, and lived in Long Beach for a short time as well.
Sacramento, Long Beach. So yeah, you a Thundercat. We already know.
I was out there. You know, some tattoos that I got to cover up.
You from South From South Sac?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so you was probably the person who robbed me at the Florin Mall when I was.
If it was in 24th Street. 24 blocks.
Oh, shit. All right, bro. We gonna get your ass off. Man, listen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your time. And as always, you're welcome. Whatever you need from me, you just let me know.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys. Y'all have a great night. God bless. And this won't be the last time, man. I definitely
right on, brother.
Everything. Thank you guys.
God bless as well.
All right.
Every night.
And that was the medium man, ladies and gentlemen. The medium man. This dude right here. I'm telling you. So I want to give a special shout out. Like, nobody does anything by themselves, right? So, like, I think a lot of times when people think about the TIP Network, they think about Grover, right? But I got to say that Scott has been here from the beginning. He's 100%, 50% of the TIP Network. And we have friends. We are at J Worldwide Studios. And J Worldwide is this gentleman right here in the middle, right? And
camera. Yeah. I don't know where to look at.
Where the camera?
So much gadgets going on here.
Right there.
Okay.
Right. And J Worldwide, and listen, nobody has to let you use their space. Nobody has to let you do anything. And people have lives, people have families, people have businesses to run, and to be able to come here and do this tonight was very important to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and
thank you for your wife too.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, Mrs. J Worldwide. Thank you so much. I know damn well he's supposed to be home. I know we're gonna get home. Listen, just make him do some extra work tonight. Don't be too hard on him. But thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the space. It's wonderful as always. We just get nothing but compliments on it, and I just want to say one thing before we go, because I know we got to go because we can't be here all night. Scott over there sending a message. I'm on my way. I'm sorry, baby. I want to say one thing, just really quick. Let me get the camera angle. To everybody who's ever rocked with us, who's ever watched the Tip Network video, Tip Network live stream, we're definitely not good at live streaming. We'll get better. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that we may not always say what you want us to say. We may not always have the message that you want us to have. We may focus on things you don't want us to focus on, but we do the best we can to bring you the best entertainment that we can. And we're doing YouTube. YouTube has rules. So I know a lot of folks, you're like, hey, why are you censoring it? Because we're on a platform. That's okay. We're going to have to keep doing what we're doing. We leverage the best tools that we can to bring you the best product that we can. And we do our absolute best to make sure that we're giving you a product that hopefully you can't get anywhere else. With that being said, everybody who's ever supported us, Uncle Guns, Poppy Blanco, Cortez, Omega Supreme with Cheese, so many people I can't think of. Saudi Slim, the brothers from Africa. I want you to know that I absolutely 100% love everything about you guys. It touches my heart. I never thought when we started that we'd ever get to 100,000 views. I never thought. 100,000, excuse me. I never even thought we'd get past 100,000 views. I remember the first video, we got 100,000 views as a Passport Pro video. And then I remember when we got to, hold on, that's probably, I actually think that's my niece in the chat, my real niece. 100,000 views. I never thought we'd get there. Then we got to 25,000 subs and we did our stream here for 50, and I never thought we'd get there. And then,
I think I was there first.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to 80,000 and 100,000 subs, and I never thought we'd do it. And so I just want to say one thing. Nobody does anything by themselves, and it's a really true story that if you want to go somewhere fast, you go by yourself, but if you want to get far, you go with a group. And I say this, that everybody who's ever supported us, Self-Made, Allende, Chloe Roma, who we did our first big interview with, mm-hmm. The lead attorney who was up here tonight, of course, my brother, Beautiful Lies, El Guapo, one of the most beautiful people I've ever dealt with. Thank you so much. God, I'm drawing AV, just supporting us constantly.
Well, I want to say a big special thank you, shout out to Kevin Samuels, because the channel wouldn't have looked the way it looks without his influence. So I just want to say that.
Right.
He's a big key influence. And then, of course, Mr. Corey Holcomb.
And I want to say a lot of people got on our case for using so much Corey Holcomb. And I want to say this. I don't care if you like his comedy or not. Corey Holcomb tells a lot of truth. Corey Holcomb is kind of like your uncle that comes to the house and says the raw shit and walks away, and everybody is kind of upset that he said it, but it made sense. And also, if you want to be honest, Corey Holcomb is the closest thing we got to Patrice O'Neal since Patrice O'Neal is dead. Corey Holcomb's a masterful comedian. I've enjoyed his comedy. The first thing I seen Corey Holcomb was in the early 2000s, and he was already a master. So for the whole 5150 gang, who a member of the 5150 gang literally did this shirt for me with my face on it, that I purchased it from him. I want to say that not only do I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, Blacklight Revelations, Rob, you're my guy. All of the folks, I love you guys to death, and we shall continue to rock the mic. There's no way I'm stopping. Nothing's going to stop me from doing what I do. And that's all I got to say. Scott, you have anything?
No, that's it. I mean, it's been a journey. Thank you for being here with us, for supporting us through all the videos. Your views actually matter so much to me. It actually changed my life. So I can't thank you enough. You don't understand how much I adore you guys. As much as we're not going anywhere in this space. We're going to keep bringing you high quality videos in this space, because Grover had a conversation with me at one point where he said, in this space, in YouTube, there's not enough high quality Black entertainment type channels. Now I know it's weird, it's coming from me, but I really take that to heart, because you guys, the Black community, has really helped me change my life. So we're here. Yeah. I'm here.
The Tip Network will always do Black content. People always tell me, cover something else, cover it. I know. I'm covering my folks, right? Now listen, I got a travel channel. If you want to watch, I think I got a travel and food channel. It's out there right now. You want to watch me go to different parts of the world, eat food with different people, we do that. We got Tip Reacts. If you want to see us react to stories that aren't Black, we do that. But the Tip Network, the flagship channel, is for us, because I'm not going to come here and have you guys put money in my pocket and then leave and go somewhere else. I won't do it. I won't do it. And it's not me saying we're better or this entertainment's better. It's just my commitment, because I've seen too many people do it. I seen when Fox first came out and they had A Living Color and they had Rock and they had all of these shows, and now all of a sudden Fox, you can't find a Black person on it. When the WB first came out,
UPN,
the UPN, we used to call it we used to call it UPN, we used to call it UBN, we used to call it You Black Negroes Network when it came out, bro. They had all the stuff. They had the Wayans brothers, they had the Jamie Foxx show, they had all the stuff. Now you can't. Now it's Dawson's Creek 24/7. Everybody came to the Black community and ran away with it. And I don't give a flying fuck who doesn't like it. I'm not leaving. I'm doing Tip Network the way Tip Network is supposed to be. We're going to cover Black stories. We're going to call out stuff that we think is wrong. And every now and again, I'm going to do a damn positive topic like I did with 50 Cent and Shreveport. And if people didn't like it and didn't watch it, so what? I'll do it again. God bless y'all. Greetings, you polite savages. And ask yourself always one burning question.
can you handle the tip?
Boom, booty in your face.
We're out.
We're out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the 100,000 subs. Thank you. It's been a journey. We shall continue to rock the mic.
And thank you for Jason for giving us a spot at J Worldwide
Studios. J Worldwide Studios.
Let's
Thanks,
go for
brother.
$1 million, baby. Let's go for $1 million.
Oh, Jesus.
Good night, y'all.
I'm tired trying to get 100,000. All right, guys. Thanks so much, man.